now. So thanks again, Jenny, and of course, Wank. We are Illustrato and Omo. We're gonna be your casters here today. It's been fun hanging out, but now it's our time to take over. We got the next series coming up, and it's like you said, RENATUS White versus ARICAT ARESTA. Omo, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, the casters are rather the desk put out the prediction, so I think we should put out ours as well. Put a bit of our reputation on the line here. I think it's going to be a 2-0 for RENATUS White, really quickly. What do you think about this one, Illustrato?
I really think RENATUS White, they've got a couple of adjustments to make. But at the end
Yep.
of the day, if we're talking about the pure caliber of the team, I think that they have this in spades. I'm going to go with
All
RENATUS
right.
White as well on this one. I do think it's going to be a 2-1. I do feel like we might see an overtime game here. It's
Ooh.
definitely going to be a banger, like Ray Rich, you said earlier on.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, based on what we've seen from RENATUS White, they do have a little bit of issues, a little bit of trouble closing out the maps in the later rounds, especially when we get to overtime. So, like you mentioned, if it does hit to overtime, then it starts getting a little bit tricky, I would think, for the members of RENATUS White. And we'll need to see if any development of growth has been done since the last Open, and if they can kind of sort out their issues in the later stages.
I do feel like that a lot of adjustments are being made from the side of RENATUS White, especially with Gohaibi now coming in, and they have Envious subbing in as their IGL, coming in as their new IGL. That's, I would say, probably the reason why they have been struggling in terms of the late side of the game, in terms of the late rounds, because
Yep.
when you change up IGL, your style changes completely, the way that, you move as a team changes completely. And this might be sort of a little bit of an adjustment phase here, which is why I genuinely think Quack has a really great point when he says that ARICAT might actually take this on in a victory, because you never know whether this new adjustment actually will be beneficial to you or not, especially now that they don't really have the donut.
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely be a huge change. I mean, we saw how they kind of look a little bit desync at times. They look like they had a bit of issues closing out maps at times in FSL Open number 4. So this time around, like you mentioned, with Envious coming in, stepping up to be the IGL, to be the shot caller of the team, let's see if it has a bigger impact on the roster as a whole. As well as I think it's fair to mention a couple of roster changes have kind of been locked in here. We see Kohaibi taking on a more solid starting position on the main 5. So I think that synergy that's going to be built up is going to be helping this roster out a lot more compared to when they were kind of swapping players in and out. I mean, of course, both of these options give you pros and cons, but I think having one solid roster is going to be a lot easier to play with.
Yeah, it's looking like a pretty much a mirror match that we
Wow,
got
it
on our
is.
hands here. And I do like the Astra coming up.
Yeah.
I do prefer the Omen. Personally
Okay.
speaking, I think Astra has been a little bit nerfed, and a lot of teams are going back to the Omen as sort of like the main go-to for the controller role, with good reason. Omen actually isn't in too bad a place, especially after they made the Paranoia, a tiny bit cheaper, a little bit more accessible. But Astra is what we're seeing here. So what I'm expecting on top of that is sort of like maybe, I don't know, like the 1-2 punch with the gravity well and the shock dart, just a lot of execution heavy plays.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of combo options possible to come true with the Astra here. Of course, the benefit of Astra on a map like on a stand, which is so big in the mid section especially, is that Astra can really control so many of these zones, and that's exactly what we're going to be seeing right here. Starting off with 3 of those stars, let's see what Mochi X wants to go for. It looks like she's just holding a safer position and getting ready to smoke out wherever she needs to.
Yeah, just quick look at how the map is currently going for us, looking like a push towards B main here,
Yep. We're
and
starting
a
out
lot of
strong towards B.
information. Exactly, just a lot of information given here, just sort of like what we saw from Celeste. They want to fight for B main. They don't want to give it up easily. They want to make sure that trying to take B main is a little bit more of an endeavor, as Kit Kat WC going down here to the hands of Envious, but that's a quick trade from Rosie.
Yep, this is one for one so far. Trading duelists on both sides. It looks like they're not quite committing to either side yet, just fishing it out, looking for some information. Of course, mid control is so important here on the sand, and that's exactly what we're seeing them do.
See what they can come up with in terms of this little default that they've just sort of structured for now. They are going to be gearing a little bit towards mid on the ARICAT side. They will be met with resistance in the form of Kohibi here as they do cross paths. Lot of information given, and Kohibi has to fall back, but will fall down after he gets taken down by Rosie trying to reposition. This leaves B site very vulnerable as Kohibi drops down to 9 as well. Has a frenzy in hand, not a lot of bullets and not a lot of life to play with as Rosie gets a 3rd kill and gets that kill onto Kohibi. Now it's a 2v4.
Yeah, the 2v4, they're gonna have to try to play for the retake, but there's just so many angles to check right now, and both members of Renatus White are kind of just choked out back towards their spawn. Not really many options to look for here.
Well,
immediately Sentry gets taken down. Oof. Yeah, too many angles, too little time. The members of RTS just get taken down, and that's gonna be the pistol heading over to ARICAT. That's a very nice start off from them, not committing to a site, playing it slow, fishing for information. I think is super important on this map.
Rosie with 3 massive kills at the very start of the game. Not exactly something you see every day where the Sentinel is giving you 3 entry frags, but always pleasant to see that. And ARICAT, they do get the first round. They're forcing Renatus on obviously a shoddy buy. There is going to be a Sheriff drop down for Envious, who is now sitting at, I'd say they still have enough money for a full buy next round. They're going for the full eco. Even though in this meta, we're seeing a lot of pro teams going for a force buy second round because of how good it is. They are going for the full eco here.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to that, obviously, but we'll have to hold that thought as it looks like they're going for a fast play up gardens into A. ARICAT, they're gonna get on site and see Rue.
Quick nade. Just to slow down their pace for now, getting towards heaven, and already stemming the bleeding right now.
Nice shot.
Envious is able to land a great connection onto Rudius, but they still have more to go. A little bit of an uphill climb as the site very much in possession of ARICAT with the weapon and the utility and the life advantage for that matter. Kohibi looking to get a little bit cheeky, looking to get some jump peeks in, but Yoki from the flank gets Envious, and that pretty much seals the deal on the round and gets ARICAT that victory. They lose 1, and that's going to be a little bit expensive, more expensive than they would have liked, but they'll take that win any day.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's not the end of the world. They're going to be able to start buying up now as well. It will be full guns from Renatus up against 4, I do believe 4 Spectres and 1 rifle from the side of ARICAT. So it's going to be a little bit of a trickier round, but it's not impossible when you are on the attacking side. Because all you need to do is just try to avoid fights towards the long angles and mid on this map and just play towards the sides a little bit more, and it's not too impossible for ARICAT to succeed despite a little bit of a weaker weaponry. You could say, oh, Rudy's, I like this by the way, going for the Ghost instead of the Spectres, playing it conservatively, saying even if we lose this round, our economy is going to be great for the next round.
That's the Odin as well, coming up right there for Keferdite.
Oh yeah.
Who actually baits out for her teammate.
That's Spike actually.
And yeah, they do have the info on the spike, and they're going to be doing a double push here on B main. Dash out just to get out of the situation. Keferdite looking for more as Kohibi's ready for the backup. Envious is great with that shot, getting 3. And that's another pick off there for Keferdite to close out that round 2-1. And it's very crucial that they get this round perfectly. No damage on their economy, and that's going to secure another perfect buy for Renatus.
Yeah, that was definitely a huge round for the side of Renatus. I mean, we talked about ARICAT's economy a little bit and how they didn't want to commit to any buys. They didn't commit to a rifle for, I think it was Rudy's, who set on the Ghost for that round. Although they got wiped out, this is going to be nice for them as well because they do get to just full buy up this round. However, it's getting a little bit tricky for ARICAT because if Renatus starts stringing these rounds together, then it's going to be devastating on their economy.
I like the idea that Renatus always go for this B main push. It's kind of very much in lieu, in essence, of how Celeste are going for it. Envious has a angle on this one, though, and all they're going to do is sort of wait it out just to make sure that nobody gets a little bit too crazy, nobody pushes too much here, but it does secure them some map control.
Oh, Gardens. They're going to run into Koibi and the crossfire with Mochi real soon. They do just spray her through the smoke, though. 2 for 2.
Some map control now towards A. They still haven't cleared out Rue here, who could still prove to be very much deadly. If she gets the timing right, Spike will go down and call for reinforcements now coming in. Very, very patient play from Rue.
They're playing for the retake, so that's nice.
Drop onto Rue there.
Nice flick. Yoki picks up 2 though. That's a nice attempt from Yoki, but the fragging power coming from Renatus has actually been very impressive this round.
Yeah, I'd say so, and that was a great hold again. And pointing out the patience of Rue there, waiting in that cubby in that corner
Yep.
for the entirety of the round, just allowing them just the opportunity to reposition and catching the members of ARICAT off guard just when they think that the angle is clear. Suddenly she swings out and is able to pick up a great couple of kills. It was an expensive round nonetheless, but we still find
Oh yeah.
ourselves at 2-2.
Yeah, so most players in Rue's position would try to peek out and stop the plant, but I really liked what she did to just be patient and just wait for a team to come in, play for the retake, and come up from such a surprising angle, which I don't think Aricat expected at all. Now let's take a look around the map real quick. We do see Rosie and we do see Yoki with these amazing new overlays. Both of them have their ultimates available, so that's going to be huge for taking a side, though I'm not sure if they want to commit it on this round, where their buy is a little bit scuffed.
Yeah, but in the end, a lot of it comes back to the aggression of RENATUS White. They are
Yep,
going for
for
that
sure.
heavy mid control. Um, and that really just forces him back. Yes, that's a great nade just to force away the owl drone, which could have potentially spotted out Envious. And this is again very much a deadly
Oh,
setup.
wow.
Yoki taking quite a bit of a tag all the way to top mid. That's 45 HP that she's got left, and they still
Yeah.
have not identified that Envious is working her way up this corner towards B Link.
Yeah, I don't know how she manages to do this every round. I think the team synergy has been very fantastic thus far, with the nades coming in from the race. Oh, 1 for 1?
Yeah, it's a good trade in the end here, but Kohaibi, this is the beauty of the mid-map control. If you get enough mid-map control, you're able to take fights from all different sides and really hone in on your opponents. This is exactly what we're seeing. They also have a little bit of B main control in the form
we
of
go.
Keferdite. She gets
They're
smoked
going
off
to
for
the
a
Odin.
second,
30 seconds
but
left.
does have some time and hasn't been identified just yet. They might hard check this corner and might prove a little bit difficult to deal with if she's able to mow them down.
Yeah, it's going to be a tricky one. It's going to come down to what Kefudadi can do. She's alone right now. 1v3, get 2.
Spike down.
Unable to finish off the last one, but still more than enough
Ooh.
time for the round to be closed out right there by Kohaibi. There's like 11 seconds left, and they were going to probably take that round anyway. Still, an expensive eco for ARICAT as the money's starting to build up for RENATUS, and they're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable in the groove. I like the confidence play that they go for that mid-aggression and really bully ARICAT into forced errors, making decisions to push haphazardly towards B with very little time.
Yeah, I really like the kind of control that they're playing for, with Envious playing such an aggressive position towards mid and towards B every single round. It just it forces Aricat to really stay on their toes, and one mistake from them, and she's just gonna pick up a bunch of frags. This time around, though, I think Envious is probably gonna play a little bit safer with the operator, and it looks like they're gonna push towards B once again. Oh, sorry, Envious at A with the operator, but it looks like they will go into the operator.
You should run.
Yeah, they managed to pick up that operator, and that's going to be the lockdown deployed there towards A. It's going to be forcing them out, but it looks like Envious can't get out of dodge. Misses that opportunity for a shot, misses again. A little bit of a little strange performance here for Envious as they do get that bomb onto A already, and they actually take down Rue, who was just trying to get lucky in the corner, hopefully, getting somebody pushing off into her location, but not going to be here today as the retake now coming in a 4v5. Oh
my
down.
god.
Keferdite is able to adjust. I can't believe nobody was watching that position.
Yeah.
A little bit of a miscommunication, I think, for the ARICAT side. But the double flank now coming in. Yoki right beside her teammate, Rudy S. That's going to be the Hunter's Fury deployed. Nobody really on that spike for now. That's going to be finally stuck for the meantime. And they're just going to leave them all in an awkward position here. Has to go off and try to peek that spike diffusing now. And, oh, she hasn't stuck it. Mochi X goes down. And that was equally a big misplay, I think, from RENATUS White.
Yeah, everything that could go wrong that round went wrong for RENATUS White. Envious missed a bunch of shots at the start of the round that could have very easily turned things around. Rue was very unfortunately stuck in a forward position against the opponent Killjoy ultimate, which just forces her into a corner. She was unable to do anything, and just that's two players from RENATUS White out of the contention right from the get-go. The post plan as well, it was really nice from ARICAT. They spent the Sova ultimate and the Killjoy ultimates to secure that round, but I feel like they really had to because the economy was just not in a good position.
Movement towards mid here just to make sure they don't get pushed again, because RENATUS White shows that they have the propensity to be a little bit aggressive, especially when they are on the weaker buy. And so they are going to be falling off these angles right now. Renatus White, they don't want to be a little bit too greedy as they have been in the previous rounds. Getting a little bit caught off, and now they're working their way towards mid. It's a great headshot from Machi X, but just unable to get the kill. Kohaibi, however, is able to pick things up. Really great stuff right there with a follow-up from Envious, and they're going to recover a rifle on the back of that good play towards short.
Yeah, so it's going to be a 4-on-3 right now. With the scuffed buys that they had, I think Renatus will be very happy with how this round is going. However, ARICAT, they're in B already, and they're probably going to get the plant down. So it's going to be another round where Renatus has to play for the retakes.
Retake, very much doable here. Look, they still have 2 ultimates. That's the Hunter's Fury available for Renatus White. The Cosmic Divide, will it come into play? I feel like it should here, but the Hunter's Fury now coming in. Rosie and Rudy, they're getting kills that they need right now, bringing us to a 2v2. Keferdite in a tough spot here is able to pick up a Phantom, and now they know that Rosie's still in this corner. They have to clear her out. They do win that
2v1.
duel. Now it's a 2v1,
Nice.
and they make mincemeat out of this post-plant situation here. ARICAT, they go down to Renatus White clean. They didn't even have to use the lockdown on it.
Yeah, they didn't have to use the lockdown, and I think that is going to be huge for the later rounds. If she uses it within the next round or two, she probably will get it up again in this half. And I think that round was just really nice coming from Renatus White. It showcases something which I think they've been doing very well so far this half on defender side, which is that they push together as a team and they cover each other when they're peeking angles. So a good example of that would be Envious pushing mid, pushing B every single round, and she'll always have a teammate backing her up, be it in utility or be it through firepower. And they did it again this round. Very nice retake, coming in from 2 angles at once, forcing the fight onto ARICAT.
Get out of my way.
Yeah, and forcing forcing the fight is exactly what you want to do, because you don't want ARICAT to just simply be able to hold the angles and take whatever fights they want. You have to make them work for any piece of map control, any piece of real estate that they want. Just like right now, sure, they smoke down mid, but there's 2 players ready with that crossfire towards it. And I like the idea that Renatus White, they're going for these mid controls to make life difficult and make any kind of rotation difficult here. But it's going to be a quick
Nice
hit
shot.
onto B. Great shot from Keferdite to take down Nox. He was going from up on above, but goes down as quickly as she goes up. As they say, what goes up must come down, and Kohaibi's not going
Okay.
down at all, as she gets a 4K, mows them down, and that's 4 kills right there for Renatus White to close out that victory. 5-3 right now, and they're 2 rounds ahead.
Brilliant performance coming out so far in that round from Renatus White. Kohaibi's been a little bit quiet for what most people have been expecting for her. Envious has been a standout so far this half, but of course, just when people start thinking things like that, thoughts like that, Kohaibi just steps up and gets a 4K, and that's going to be a huge round for Renatus. Once again, though, ARICAT is going to be back on the buys. I mean, their economy has just been in shambles pretty much this whole game. They keep winning rounds, losing rounds, they win one round, lose their loss bonus, and then they just keep losing again. It's so hard for them to start stringing these wins together, which is exactly what you need to be able to do. Now, 3-5 is it's not the end of the world right now. It's still a pretty close scoreline, but we need to see ARICAT start to string some rounds together, hopefully starting off this buy round.
Yeah, and in this buy round, we're finally getting to see an operator here. Envious, however, is pushed up all the way towards Wine. Great hold right there for Rue. Only gets 1, however, before being traded off immediately. But this is still a lot of information. If they don't clear out Envious, that just means that they have free roam. Renatus White, rather. They have free roam onto wherever they want to go. And as you can see, because they have A main, they've given up mid completely. They can afford to fall back and play on the spawn. They can afford to have players buried down deep into B site, and they have still ARICAT yet to deal with this.
Yep, it's gonna be a B hit. They spot out Keferdite with the dot though. Here we go. Looks like the play is coming in right now. Kohaibi is in boathouse. She can't defend this one.
Oof. Great shot right there, Rosie. Just taking down Kohaibi, who was ready for it, but looking like the better duelist at the moment was going to come out on top of it, as Keferdite looking to entry the site. It's actually Envious who gets that control. Now, the utility will be deployed, but finally, we're going to be seeing the lockdown coming out right there for Killjoy, and the double peek, the double swing is great just to isolate the players right now, but they do have
to
to
take
work
out
with
this
this clock. They
lockdown.
do have to deal with this lockdown for now, and they're going to fall back, and they're going to get one player detained right now, so it's going to be tough for Kefradite. Has to wait for the right time to get back into it, so it's all up to Envious for the meantime, who's sneaking up towards site, but the time not in their favor. They got to get a pick. They got to do it now right here, but Rosie's good for one. Kefradite's dropped down. Rosie's good for three. And that's going to be around here for ARICAT, keeping RENATUS White humbled for the meantime.
Yeah. Nice round coming in from ARICAT, and like we mentioned early on, they need to string these wins together. They cannot just keep losing their loss bonus and then losing the round after the round which they win. I mean, that was really nice execution coming in from ARICAT. You normally don't want to see two people choked up at the back of Boathouse, but with the use of the defensive lockdown coming in from Rosie, kind of managed to make that round work. And I want to point out so far that Rue hasn't managed to use a single one of her ultimates yet on the defensive side, while Rosie has already used two. She's been fragging a lot too, so this might be another lockdown. Maybe she'll be able to get a third off in one half.
Indeed, and it's quick swing out there. That's what I wanted to see. Like, you know, our RENATUS, they've been so aggressive towards B main, and ARICAT, they're finally ready for it. They're expecting it to happen. A little bit too far was Kefradite to go for that trade, and honestly, it's a great default hold just to make sure that they don't get forced back and into a man disadvantage early on into the round. Now, they do have pretty low HP right now onto Mochi X, but they're still going to go for that retake should it come to it. The lockdown is still available for them.
Yeah, I like how RENATUS are so willing to give up the site sometimes. Perhaps maybe a bit even too willing to give up the sites, but they are very comfortable just waiting for the team to get in position and play for the retakes, which is exactly what we're going to see here. Again, finally, we see the defender Killjoy lockdown coming in. Rue wants this one.
Yeah, and look at this double flank that they've got going towards short here. It's absolutely massive, but the Rue is able to get the first one. Kefradite, despite being in the gravity well, is able to clean things up. Yoki, will they expect her in the corner? And yes, they do. They spot her out. Now it's all up to Noxy, who is buried onto site here. Two players left standing. Mochi X pretty low, getting swung on. 7 bullets, 9 bullets, dashing out behind the box, able to line it up, and that's 3 kills right there from Noxy to be able to clutch that round and bring us to a tie scoreline, 5-5. ARICAT, fight back.
Very nice round coming in there from Noxy. That's exactly what we need to see from these duelists. Noxy has been a little bit quiet here on this jet, but that was a big round for her. A lot of expended from both sides in terms of ultimates, but that is exactly what ARICAT need. They need to start stringing these rounds together. And we're going to take a look at the clutch real quick. One quick kill into Mochi X, forces the one-on-one, dodges the shots, plays so well around the boxes. And that's going to be a 3k coming in for the side of ARICAT on Noxy.
Yeah, Noxy has been so good for her team, and they force an eco now. Also, 2 ultimates available should push come to shove, and then they actually need to use it. Looks like it is coming out right here just to help them secure close range, but they will be going on to it. Gravity well will be consumed for the meantime, but it allows them to get onto site. KitKat, great usage of utility, but equally so from Kohaibi, as everybody dying to utility for the meantime.
Yeah, understandable. I've been there.
Haven't committed onto site just yet, however, and so they still have the ability to rotate should they come to it. No, I scratch that. It was a plant. And now they're going to. It was basically plant and then fall back and give it up. So now they're playing completely post plant. They do have the ultimate, however, onto KitKat should it come to it. That's going to be the. Oh. Okay, it does a lot of damage here, but Envious is good for the trade. And they got it to half, but they killed the spike diffuser already. Rosie trying to go for that spray down through it. And that's another one from Kohaibi. Is able to close out that round, going for the half desperation play. And it's going to be enough! Kohaibi with 4 kills and almost all of it from utility usage.
Yep, that's the power of a good race right there. I mean, she had 4 frags that round, 3 of it was from utility, and still nicely spread across all her abilities as well. 1 from the boombot, 1 from the grenade, and 1 from her ultimate. So that's fantastic usage of her utility on that race to be aggressive, to control site, and to get the retake down. So very nice round there from RENATUS White, and that's exactly what they needed on an eco round, no less. So that's going to be a huge one for them this time around. It's going to be kind of a scuff by once again from ARICAT, and it's going to be 5-6. It's pretty close so far. Let's see if ARICAT can tie this one up once again.
I like that plant. I like that play that they ran with ARICAT. They go for that wall and then just go for the clear the close range, and then they plant and then all fall back to A main. it's very reminiscent of like how Fnatic used to play when Pronax was their IGL.
Yeah.
Um, but it just didn't work out for them. They did take a couple more losses than they need to, and it all fell apart, especially with all the utility from Kohybe.
Yeah, for sure. The utility definitely did good work there. The close ranges that ARICAT wanted to play kind of came back to bite them because of the power of this race in the hands of Kohybe. Now, big push on mid though. Kohybe sees them. Double
Ooh,
peek.
just
Get out of my way.
doesn't get the lineup
Ah.
right. Shoots a little bit prematurely, and they also take a loss right there. This eco round. Hello, Kit Kat. The double spray down from long range lands precisely on the domes of the members of RENATUS White, and they're left stunned as to how to deal with this Aphrodite. No chance in hell, and they burn the Hunter's
For good
Fury.
measure.
Exactly.
Switching sides.
Okay, that was a very impressive round coming in from ARICAT. I mean, that's the kind of round you need to see from a team that wants to take this one, that wants to take their map pick of Ascent. I mean, we have seen them be a little bit quiet individually. They have been the ones who kept getting pushed by RENATUS, in fact. And that round, they just went for it. They went for aggressive peaks. They won all their duels, and that was a very nice sign of life for ARICAT as they tie up the series once again.
Oh, 6-6. All you could ask for and more in this current game. Like, we wanted to see a close game. We expected it. I think everybody went with a 2-1 prediction here, and sure as
I
hell
went for
it is
2-0.
living up to. You went 2-0? Oh, okay. Well,
A bit of a
I-
contrarian.
I
Yeah.
think you're gonna be wrong here because
I think so too after seeing how ARICAT is playing, but you can't regret these predictions. It happens.
it happens. It is what it. Well, who knows? It might be a close 2-0. But coming down towards B site, Ru and Kohybe taking a lot of damage very early on in the round, and this opens up their mid completely. They have given up information that they are playing a mid split, a B split rather. But Aphrodite, aware of the flank possibility, trapped in the corner.
Oh,
will
no.
be naded out. Oh, goodbye.
Kobe. Unfortunate there. For Aphrodite stuck in the corner against a race. It's never really where you want to be. 3-4 right now. RENATUS haven't managed to get in the side, which is a little bit curious.
You hear
They're
that?
going
beep,
for a
beep, beep, beep.
wraparound.
And
Okay.
you know you're dead.
Yeah, you know you're dead. She tries to run out. Not really anywhere she could have gone. RENATUS super low in health right now though. 30 HP on Kohybe and full health boss for the side of ARICAT. Kohybe's gonna get rushed.
Players
Oh,
switching.
but she manages to take one down before she goes down. So going down swinging, all up to Ru, who playing this close corner.
Oof.
It's not going to happen. The double swing out is good enough for ARICAT, and they take the lead for the first time this game here, Omo.
Yeah, exactly. And that pistol round is going to be big because now we're going to see RENATUS force onto Eco once again. We'll have to see what they can do on that. It's going to be very difficult because this looks like a very nice run of form for ARICAT. They've been on a little bit of a hot streak. They've been winning the duels. They've been hitting the shots. They've been trading the kills. And I think that that's the key we need to see from them here on Ascent, which is, once again, their map pick. If they want to win the series, if they want to, maybe even at least go 2-1, they need to find these plays on their map pick.
I am loving what I'm seeing from Rosie as well, stepping up as the Sentinel, not just on the defensive side. It's not very uncommon to see that your Sentinel would be like very bottom fragging on the attacking side, but this is just not that. Rosie is putting up the numbers, man. And now that it's defensive side, it's her time to shine. It's just gonna get even better from there. But we're starting it off with a great shot right there from Envious, but has to fall back as she's brought down to 22.
Gets
Long
chased
range
down.
shot down from Kit Kat WC. Now they're going to make their way towards that A site. Rudy, 34 HP as she gets out of that corner, and it's gonna be a tough situation as the Spike now gonna go down.
Spike's gonna go down, and that's really nice from RENATUS. Even though they lost the last round, they are on eco this round. They get the plant on both rounds, which is gonna help them a lot for the economy. Nice headshot for Kohybe there. And unfortunately, that's gonna be it for them. But still, economy. That's something which I harp on a lot, but that's gonna be really nice for them, getting the credits from the Spike plant.
The spike plant and the 2 kills definitely worth that eco round,
Yeah,
and that's
for sure.
going to force a couple of rebuys and at the same time bolster the economy right there of RENATUS going into this one. Now a little bit of a pause is coming in. Not sure if it's a tactical or a technical just yet, but it's a good time for people to start breathing. Get your snacks, guys. It's about dinner time. About dinner time, isn't it? All across Southeast Asia.
A little bit late for dinner time, but it's a good time for a post-dinner snack. And it seems like that's what ARICAT want to do with RENATUS right here.
What time do
they've been
people
on a
have
bit of a
dinner in
roll.
Singapore?
Normally about like 6 or 7, I think. Maybe my
Okay,
family just
yeah,
has dinner
yeah.
early.
No, that's pretty normal. That's pretty normal, I'd
Yeah,
say.
so usually about 6 to 7. So it's a nice time for, settling down on the couch, get a tub of ice cream out, and watch this fantastic series. It's been
This
a
is
very
why you're
close
getting
one.
fat, Omo.
I did not
I'm
sign up to
sorry.
be attacked here today.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you out there,
No, no,
buddy.
it's
But
fair. It's fair. Good to be called out sometimes. And I think it's important to be talking about how, Renatus has been getting called out as well. They've been going for so many of these duels. They've been going for so many of these aggressive peaks and duels, which they've been starting to lose, which is really big for ARICAT, finding their confidence. That's a nice tactical timeout there. Take a second, have a breather. For your gun round, you really need to not lose this one because it's going to be huge for ARICAT if they take a 9th round and they take your guns. So Renatus, this is going to be a huge round for them and for the tempo of this game as a whole.
so I think it is a technical timeout. It looks like Kit Kat's not moving. She's just kind of
Oh,
hanging out there.
oh yeah, just chilling.
Yeah. Just, well,
All right, I thought we were heading back into the game already, but not quite yet.
no,
Just gonna be
no,
a little
not
bit
just
more.
yet. Maybe have a little more ice cream then. Yeah.
Okay, so we went from a tactical timeout to a technical timeout. We hear that it's been a DC from one of the players, so it's gonna take a bit of time to fix that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's Kohaibi. It's
yeah,
not Kit Kat.
Kohabi dropped out really quick. We're probably gonna see that one fixed in a couple of seconds. But for now, I think we need to take a look across the map. What do you think Renatus need to be doing right here? I mean, all their plays have been working for them in the first few rounds. They've just started losing. Do they
Yeah,
just need a second to reset, or?
I feel like Renatus just need to keep this gun round clean.
Yep.
They are on a very big advantage in terms of, artillery and weaponry. And so they just have to keep things clean, sparkly clean, if they want to keep things close. Because if they get too many people dead, we've seen this very much like last game. Like, it's a little bit of an awkward situation in terms of economy when you have the gun round and then you win against the bonus round, but at the same time you have like 3 players dead, and then you're left with the decision like, do we buy because like three
Yeah.
players are broke, or do we eco? I mean, most people will buy, but sometimes it's worth considering ecoing, especially if you've lost like 4.
You probably end up on some kind of scuffed half buy, and it's a really weird position that you don't want to be in. It's even worse if you lose the round though, because then your opponents get to take your guns with their half buy, and that's pretty much the worst case scenario. Like we see ARICAT with a bunch of pistols, a sheriff, some specters. If they win this round and they get a couple rifles off Renatus, that could be huge for the map.
Well, again, guys, you're joining us here for the VCT Game Changers here, all under FSL. We've watched this scene grow and flourish so much over the past few. Just the quality of the players and the teams, and so appreciative, of course, of the fact that Riot now supporting this tournament. It's a very big deal for us, not just the women in the scene, but also us who support this movement and support all the women who deserve a better place and deserve a better chance at being in the spotlight. I'm just so honestly
we're big
honored to be here.
fans.
Yeah, we're massive fans, dude.
Massive fans for sure. Yeah, and I mean, like you mentioned as well, I think it's important to touch on the quality of the players have really improved. I mean,
Oh
the
yeah.
Renatus that we saw in the last Open and the Renatus that we see in this Open, they just look like they've really leveled up their game. But at the same time, ARICAT, they are giving them a run for their money. They are putting on a fight, and they are looking in good position to possibly take this map as well.
Yeah, this could be a little bit of an upset here, Omo, because I think a lot of casters, a lot of us on the panel,
Yep.
were predicting that if there's anyone who could upset Celeste, it's potentially, Renatus or Galaxy Racer. But I feel like we might have to touch on the fact that ARICAT, they're looking like a potential dark horse who could just surprise everybody with how good that they're looking right now.
Definitely a possibility. I mean, they are coming in here with very clear strategies that they want to run. They have plays that they've clearly practiced, and they look good on it. I mean, the post plants that they've had on the attacker side have been very clean. We need to see if they can keep this going, though, as well as on the side for Natus. Even though it's a little bit too early to say, we need to see if they can keep in the game as the map gets hard, as the series gets harder, as it drags on, because we've seen the Renatus can seem to get a bit tired and lose their form towards the later rounds, and that's perhaps what we're seeing here yet again.
And it's definitely looking like ARICAT have a pretty good chance at doing this here. I mean,
Yep.
coming into this bonus round, if they can somehow manage to win this, their chances of winning this map, let alone the series, just skyrockets. And hopefully we keep things interesting, though. Renatus White have an advantage in terms of the weaponry, like we've pointed out, and yeah, pretty good time. By the way, shout out to everybody who's watching us on chat. We're on Twitch TV/FSL if you're watching on Twitch. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a technical issue break right now. We are gonna wait for Kwaibi to reconnect to this one. Yeah, let's spend a bit of time talking about the players actually, because Kwaibi has been popping off pretty hard for the side of RENATUS White. Envious had a really nice couple of rounds towards the start of the map, but as she slowed down, the pace of the team as a whole seems to have slowed down as well. So we probably need to see some individual performers step up a little bit more on the side of RENATUS White. Whereas on the side of ARICAT, I think you mentioned as well, Rosie's been doing a lot for a Sentinel.
I agree. Just the Sentinel role, not always something that you see at the very top of the scoreboard, but lo and behold, that's exactly what we're seeing. Look at this again!
That's one.
Rosie!
That's
Rosie! Life is all roses for her right now. She makes a mincemeat.
That's the spike, by the way, so
Renatus.
that's huge. Ooh, Envious. We said Envious needed to stop waking up, and that's exactly what we saw. A nice little tap onto the head. But that's gonna be a very rough round for them. Rosie has the lockdown already?
Out of charges.
Yeah,
On round 3 of half. She's gonna put down the defender lockdown.
yeah, and this is gonna force them into a little bit of an awkward position. Like, where do you go? But I equally like this this play right here from Renatus as they go around the lockdown, and instead of double downing on B, they try to secure a little bit of map control before they make that full commitment. So
but
making
they
sure
are
that their
going back to
market is
B.
clear, making sure
Yeah.
that they have no, holes in where they can get peeked from, and this allows them a little bit more of an approach towards B, especially with only 35 seconds left.
Yeah, not much time to go to make a full rotation. They spot out Rosie, and that's gonna be big. Rosie is, of course, alone on this side right now, but rotations coming in from KitKat. Gets one onto Mochi.
Oh,
20
that's
seconds.
a good one kill to hold on to the side, but needed to have done, I think, a little bit better than that. But regardless, still a man advantage. Nice tap right there to bring down KitKat 36, but still, they have to hold on to it, and they are currently pinched onto the side. Every single angle accounted for. All the information in the world right now going in the favor of ARICAT. They're looking to take this one out, but Envious with a good shot. So is from Aphrodite, and this is just a great mop-up win for Renatus White. Just when you thought that they were in a lot of hot water, suddenly they bailed themselves out.
Yeah, that was a roller coaster of a round coming in from RENATUS White. They lose 2 at the start, right from the get-go to Rosie, with a Spectre no less. Rosie immediately plops down the lockdown, and we see RENATUS kind of actually just play a little bit of mind games there. We had God mode on, we have God view on, so it's a little bit unfair for us to judge them this way. But they made a really smart call to rotate back to B, because as we saw, the members of ARICAT expected them to make the rotation to A when the lockdown came down. They just chilled, they bided out the time, they waited it out, and he went back to B, got the plant, and very nice post-plant hold there from Envious and Aphrodite.
Yeah, I mean, perfectly said there, Omo. Just one of the great post-plant crossfires that just melted away the retake potential here. But having said that, it still was quite expensive as they forced more than a couple of rebuys here. Envious, great entry onto site, traded out by Rudy. But, however, the the utility just working
Right.
perfectly right now. ARICAT, they're showing up, but so is Kohaibi and Rue. Shockdar to take her down. Yoki's working this corner. Kohaibi's left alone, and she even gets spotted out here. Has
Oh,
to drop
boy.
onto
That's
site
bad.
just to isolate the angle, and she's identified and shut down here. Great ending to the round for Yoki. Came massive with that kill and that owl drone to basically get the information they needed.
Yeah, 9-7 right now for ARICAT. This is going to be very nice for them. They have the tempo of the half. They have the tempo of the map. This is, of course, their map pick. Their most played map as well. They played 9 out of 16 games in the FSL Open so far on Ascent with a 56% win rate. They're, of course, looking to, kind of boost their stats a little bit here with one more win.
Yeah, this is starting to get a little bit worrisome right now for Renatus. This is a force buy, and I mean, not a force buy, but this is the eco round. And after this round, if ARICAT takes this is 3 rounds away from winning the game. So,
Yep.
Renatus, man, they are currently in a pickle. They're in a pickle, man.
Yeah,
Not
they're
a-
in a very
Not a good
scuffed
pickle either.
I personally feel that no pickle is a good pickle, but
You're
that's a
wrong, by
discussion
the
for.
way. Oh,
Okay,
okay,
this is
maybe this
exactly
is a
what they
good
need.
pickle. Maybe a good pickle because Envious has just opened the round towards B side. Has
Here
to
we go.
work on looking for Rosie, but Rosie's been good. Rosie's been great. She finds Envious here. KitKat with the backup,
Wow.
Mochi with a follow-up, but it's gonna be KitKat right there to land that shot onto Rue.
I dropped
Rudy's right
though.
there as well. The spike is also dropped in no man's land as Kifrodite lands a
Alright.
beautiful Sheriff tap onto KitKat, looking for another clutch Aphrodite. Can she do it again? As she lands a great headshot right there onto Rudy. 1v1. And that's, oh my god, does she get spotted? No, she doesn't, but that alarm bot is going to do a lot of work for that information. Picks up a Vandal, and Clutch Aphrodite has to go recover
Has
the
the time,
spike.
she has
Already
the
has
time.
it, and she's going to book it all the way to A.
She's gonna book it all the way to A, and I think that Rosie might have heard her actually. A little bit suspicious for a possible look here, but Kfudadi is gonna book it all the way to A. She's gonna get the plan down, and it's gonna be a 1v1 with
Yes,
Kfudadi
ulti.
actually. Yeah, she's gonna have the benefit of the initial positioning. She's gonna get there first. She's gonna be able to hide, and Rosie's the one that's gonna have to check all the corners. So now we have Clutch Aphrodite against Rosie, who's been putting up huge numbers for her team. Oh boy!
Ooh, big
Right, so she knows
information
she's
from-
in heaven.
Yeah, and they've given up information as well. But it's Clutch Aphrodite getting 3 kills on that round, bringing it back. And you would expect nothing less of this phenomenal player here. the one player you want alive in a
Yeah.
1v3. That's Aphrodite.
For sure, she's been doing a lot of work here for her team, and I mean, that was a great round for him to start. Envious comes up mid with the knives, gets some control, gets some guns for a team, and I think every member of RENATUS pretty much getting a frag there as well. We saw some kills with a Classic, we saw some kills with a Sheriff. That was a very value round for the side of RENATUS for sure.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, she had Clutch Aphrodite, man, had no business winning that round. We were thinking, okay, it's an eco round, should be 10, 10-7, but no. Aphrodite's like, enough is enough. Oh, okay.
Alright, they're gonna
Almost got
commit
caught
with
off.
Killjoy Ultimate. Lockdown is going towards B, I believe. And they're up against a full eco from ARICAT. They don't want to lose any guns. They don't want to lose any players. Committing the ultimate, and they have to go in fast and get the guns down. Kohaibi in mid gets taken down, though.
Yeah, great shot right there from Noxy, but is taken down just as quickly by Rue. And that's the site B easily taken by... Oh,
Nice.
fadeaway tap from Aphrodite. It's a little parting gift right there for you, Rosie. Thank you very much.
A little parting gift there, and we are going to see a retake attempt from the side of ARICAT right now. It's going to be very scuffed, though, because they don't have the guns to do this.
Yeah, and the guns, you need them, especially
Yeah.
on a retake like this with Aphrodite watching the angle.
So
watching
many
the cross.
angles. They're just gonna try to make it expensive, I think. But very nice crossfire from RENATUS. And there we go, just cleaning that up with only one person lost to the knives.
You said it perfectly, man. The crossfire just makes life so difficult for them. Just when you think Aphrodite's in a little bit of trouble, nah, she's got her angle covered. The cross is covered by a teammate. They try to swing out onto her. They try to force her out with utility, and Aphrodite just holds tightly, holds the line, and secures the round for her team.
And Kfudadi has definitely been huge for RENATUS right now. We typically talk about Kohaibi as the star player, but it's just a reminder that everyone on this roster can frag. And on the right day, everyone will frag. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. 19 from Kfudadi, and I believe 18 or so for Kohaibi and Envious as well. So very big individual performances as they look towards A. Oh boy, here we go.
Ooh, Hunter's Fury will connect. We'll get Rosie, and that's the top frag, the best player currently on the server gone. So that's and the Sentinel as well. So that's gonna be the site ripe for the taking.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge use of the Hunter's Fury. Really nice play there from Kfudadi. This map has been a playground so far. Noxy trying to look for some angles on the retake. RENATUS, they need to just lock the site down. They don't really have the best post-plant position, and ARICAT are gonna come in on them. 3 down.
Oh, Hunter's Fury for you. Hunter's Fury for
No one
you.
there.
But
No one there.
nobody's right there. They have to check Hell, and that's gonna be the
Oh.
utility. ARICAT, they're so good with utilizing that utility. Just when you think the round is basically done and dusted, because look at it, the post plant wasn't exactly there for them. They were struggling in terms of manpower, but just KitKat's nades are just so great this game.
Yeah, the problem with that round, and that's what we saw, that's the difference that we see between ARICAT and RENATUS as well. When ARICAT gets the plant down, their post plants are pretty immaculate. They just back out of sight, they find very nice angles to hold. But the problem there was with RENATUS, they got the plant down a little bit too late. The rotation from ARICAT had already came in, and they didn't have the best positioning set up. They were just kind of stuck around side, stuck in hell, and they just get utility basically to bits.
Gets spotted out right there as the Owl Drone and the utility comes out. Now, ARICAT are playing the very deadly combination of the Sova Killjoy on B site. Very tough to break through. Can they actually do it right now? Envious looking to open it up. Tries to get on all the way
Boathouse.
back. But can she actually get the kills? And that's looking like a no for the meantime. But they're swarming the position and they hold strong! As ARICAT mow down the presence here, running out of bullets. But will it matter?
1v3
again 1v3, and look at the HP. They're all sitting down low. Every single person on the server has been tagged up quite nicely. A shock dart would finish off 2 of them, given all of them planted in the right place.
Oh, this is so impossible to play. There's so many angles for her to check. She doesn't know anything. She has no information at all. She just has to play this 1v3 by ear. Oh, this is so difficult. She has to check so many angles.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Tasha.
on the plus side, there's 35 seconds left to go.
The angle though, look at the rotation around the back. I don't think they're gonna expect this one.
30 seconds left.
But it doesn't matter. They're just holding stably on site.
And they finally spot her out. The double swing should come in any second now. 20 seconds
this
left.
is so
Gets
hot.
to spray through the box. Knows where the second one is. Swaps weapons. Decides it's not the better of the two. And the timing. Turns around. Gets
No
it.
way.
Kefrodite.
No shot.
Shock dart. Shock dart. Oh
No
my God!
shot, man.
Kefrodite. Clutch Aphrodite living up to her name round after round. How many times can she do this?
I have no words right now. That was amazing. Like I said, that was torturous to watch because there was so many angles for her to check. I felt so bad for her. She was looking into Boathouse. She was looking into Gardens as well. Oh my God, I don't know how she did it. That was an amazing round, getting a very nice 3 frags right there. And yeah, I mean, I think that this one is definitely one for the highlight reels. We'll just leave it at that. Fantastic use of utility, fantastic checking of every single corner, getting the frags where she needs to.
My God.
Brilliant.
What a play.
Brilliant round.
What a play right there. And suddenly this game has turned on its head. RENATUS, they're looking in a great spot here. KitKat gets 1 kill onto Envious though, and that's going to be the site open.
Yep.
And they have to definitely reposition for this retake.
Alright, surely this time around RENATUS are gonna get nice post-plant positions, right? Because this is what's been hurting them. They've just been stuck. We see it again. Kefrodite kind of does get stuck out, but this is just good fragging coming in from her with the gun advantage. Yep.
Yeah, but
It's just a positioning issue in the post-plant for RENATUS.
I agree with you, and it's now 1v3. Seen a lot of crazy clutches, but this one's definitely gonna be tough. Nice shot there from
It's
Kit Kat.
starting, 1 found, gets 1. That's about it for KitKat. There was still a 3k for her, though, so not a bad round, taking down all 3 dead players on the side of RENATUS. This is, of course, gonna bring it to 11 and 10, 1 away from map point.
Yeah, I gotta say it. Kefrodite, man. Great couple of rounds. KitKat had a good
Oh, for sure.
opportunity. They're like neck to neck right now. 24 kills for KitKat, 26 for Kefrodite. And now,
Tactical.
great time for a pause. Great
Great
time.
time
You
for a
don't want to
pause.
start RENATUS getting a little bit too out of hand here. This is the time
Yep.
that you gotta be a little
I
bit
mean,
more
we
patient.
saw in the earlier rounds as well, when RENATUS gets the hot hands, they really get going. They get the duels, they get the frags, and I think that that's fantastic run of form coming in from this roster. Of course, on the side of ARICAT, it's a great time, like you mentioned, to have a pause. They need to stop the momentum. They need to stop the train of RENATUS from really just rolling out of the station right here. This is, once again, ARICAT's map picks, so they really need to take this one to have a solid foothold in the series before we go into, I believe it's Icebox, which is RENATUS map pick coming up next. This is, of course, the first map of the best of 3. But stakes are high. I mean, you don't want to be losing first map, especially on your map pick. But Kefrodite, though, this girl has just been keeping her team in the game.
Right here.
Yeah, and both of these squads just having an amazing run. And now we're going to get back into the game here as we're about to find out which of these teams can truly break the deadlock. RENATUS is a little bit ahead right now after salvaging what was a very, very dangerous situation. But somehow they've managed to bring it back.
Somehow they've managed to bring it back. Well, we say somehow, but we know how. It's off the back of Kphrodite's amazing clutches. That has been a pretty insane couple of rounds, if we're being honest here. Like, we see some information coming towards mid for the side of RENATUS. No commitment just yet, just dipping their toes in the water. But it looks like they want to look towards A with the spike.
Just a little bit of time given right now for both of these squads to sort of catch their breath after that timeout, and I really think that's a really great way to sort of slow the pace, slow the momentum of RENATUS White. You don't want them getting too ahead. You don't want them to getting a little crazy in terms of, you know, the things that they're pulling out, because, you know, once the players of RENATUS are starting to feel their aim, feel the game, they're like a, you know, a steam train, diesel engine. They just build up and get you know, better and better as the rounds progress. Case in point, Kphrodite starting the rounds, you know, slower, and Kohibi as well. Now everybody's hitting their shots. And look at this, full contact play.
Here we go.
They're walking into the site right now. Envious, great entry, dashing on behind the box, able to stay safe. Showstopper from Kohibi.
30 seconds left.
Noxy getting a couple of trades up, but still, RENATUS, they are doing it. They're making the comeback happen. Rosie left alone. She's been great. Gets swung out from the side. Kohibi too quick on the trade. 3 kills for her. RENATUS match point in the T-back.
Net point coming in from RENATUS, and we saw a very late execute there that round, getting a little bit of Na'Vi vibes coming in from RENATUS there. But when they hit the site, they hit it hard, they hit it fast. The 2 duelists go in, clear out Hell, clear out the Garden's positioning as well, and they just stick over the site. You don't need post-plant positions if you just run in and you kill everyone, and that's very good advice from RENATUS.
Now, looking at the economy, it's definitely not a pretty story right now. Yoki will have to be on a Spectre. Noxy, fortunately, has the blades, and she's been good with it thus far. But can't they get the picks that they need in this round? This is crucial. This is tantamount to surviving. Obviously, you want to win on your map pick, Omo.
You have to win on your map pick, you might even say.
Yeah. I mean, as I say that, though, it's a great pick with the Spectre right there from Yoki, who gets Envious, and that's a mad advantage right now. 3 big ultimates available from ARICAT.
Yeah, 3 big outs available. Kohibi is trying to get onto the side, trying to just nade out the market positioning right there. They are just looking to check so many angles at once. They need... Okay, that works. Defender Killjoy ultimate coming in. Rosie once again posted up in Boathouse. They're trying to rush her, though. So many people coming in. She gets 1.
Look at this, though. Noxy is able to land 1, able to land a second, looking for the clutch. She doesn't get it, but it's still a 1v1. As right now, KitKat has the information. It's playing around, swings out wide, and keeps ARICAT alive. 11 to 12. We could be seeing that overtime that we were asking for, Omo.
In a way, I want to see it, but in a way, I also don't want to see it. I did predict the 2-0 for RENATUS, so I want to see them take this one. And if we go into overtime, even though we're going to see a couple more great rounds, I kind of feel like that's where RENATUS start to struggle, where they start to really have trouble finding these rounds, stringing these rounds together. And that's exactly what we need to see come out from them here. They just need to really solidify their late game stages of each map. I feel like that's the problem we're seeing from them right now.
Yeah, I agree with you completely, man. But at the same time, ARICAT, they're managing to get the kills that they really need when it counts the most. And so that's basically keeping them alive for at least the most part here. And they've forced a little bit of a shoddy buy from RENATUS. They do have Envious on what is essentially just the ultimate. She gets spotted out too, so she could actually get ultied here by... Nope, we're gonna save it. She's gonna save it.
Here we go. We're going in hard. We're going in fast. Attack a Killjoy ultimate being used to lock down the A side. But they're not going in? This is interesting.
It's destroyed.
Oh, it got destroyed through the wall. Did they spray it down? Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a little bit of
You hate to see it. Well, they did have Hunter's Fury, so I'm pretty sure they sprayed it through the wall, which is... You really hate to see that.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, it is what it is, but... That's also a little bit of a missed ult, so a couple of ultis going a little bit to the wayside right now for both of these teams here, as no team really fully committing just yet. Kohibi looking to entry, but they're still poking, still prodding, trying to get something before they make that commitment. They don't want to go in a 5v5 retake scenario. That's why they're still trying to poke away at this defense.
Yeah, so we see right now, RENATUS, they have 30 seconds left to go. They're gonna pop the Astra Cosmic Divide, and they're going to go for the close angle fights. Oh, sorry, that's Rudy's Cosmic Divide, actually.
Oh, but look at
Yeah,
this.
that's gonna be
ARICAT
huge.
here. That's 2 massive kills here, but
So once you-
traded out as quickly as Kohaibi and Kefradite, the 2 players left standing. Rosie been the bastion for her team thus far. They get the
Kefradite
spike
again.
down. Out of necessity, they have it. But Kefradite, can she clutch it again?
No way.
1v1, Kefradite!
No way, man.
He clutches the round and wins it for Renatus! The one person you don't want alive if you're ARICAT, and it's Kefradite, the clutch. That's 3 clutches for her. 3, Omo, 3.
That's ridiculous. I mean, honestly, it's getting borderline illegal at this point. Kefradite is just winning these completely illegal rounds, which she should not be winning. She has no right to be winning, and she just plays it so well, smashes through ARICAT, and it's so unfortunate for them because I feel like ARICAT had some really good game plans. They had some really good rounds, really good setups, really good post plans as a team. But Kefradite, when she's on fire, when she's in the clutch Fradite form, you can't really stop that, I think.
I am just blown away here, Omo.
Yeah.
It's just not, it ain't right. There's
It's
how
not.
good she is at clutching these rounds. She truly lives up to the name Clutch Ray. Oh my god. I'm fanboying pretty hard right now. I'm not even ashamed about it. Just
It's brilliant. It was a really amazing performance coming in from her. I mean, when we talk about Renatus White, the name which most people tend to bring up is, of course, going to be Kohaibi. But that map was all about Kefradite, especially in the later half of it.
yeah, not just, oh my god, just not just doing well in terms of supporting her team in terms of utility, but also supporting her team in terms of like the fragging and the clutch. She was top fragging.
She
in that
was not
server.
supporting. She was smashing.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see. I'd say
Yeah.
one of the best players, in the female scene in SEA for sure. Just so much she brings to the table. My God, what a player!
For sure. I mean, that was a really amazing map coming in from Kefradite individually. Of course, the members of Renatus played pretty well as well. But of course, that's going to be map 1 of this best of 3. That was Ascent, which is AstroCat's map pick. We need to see how they can adjust, how they can reset coming to the second map. And we'll go into a quick break before we come back with Icebox, which is, of course, going to be Renatus' map pick. And we'll see how they do on that one.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And you're joining me, Illustrato, and the ever-pensive Omo, as we're coming back here into game number 2. Just brooding a little bit over there.
Yeah,
How
just
you
a little
feeling
bit,
after
thinking
that
about the
game? I mean, the last game gave us a
I
lot to
feel-
think about, didn't it?
Not so much a lot to think about, but more so just a lot to take in when you see
Yeah.
Kippadaddy and the clutches that she pulled off. It was just really amazing, like poetry in motion, really. Enjoyed it a lot.
Just we got to take a quick look at how the game went in terms of the statistics here, and MVP to nobody's surprise here with
Yeah.
a 328 combat score.
Dropping
328.
30 that round, 328 combat score, that is a fantastic performance coming in from her. Of course, Kawaibi as well, no slouch for RENATUS, 293 combat score. Kippadaddy, actually, I want to point out 2.1 KDA. That's pretty ridiculous when you think about it. She just won so many clutches, and like everyone's asking for, we really need to start seeing a clutch counter just for Kippadaddy, our resident clutch minister here in the Valorant Game Changers. KCAT as well, shoutouts to her. 300 combat score as well for the side of ARICAT. Fantastic performance.
I do have to point out Rosie as well, who was just really,
yep,
I
on
think,
that Sentinel.
probably the best player on the Sentinel. Just an amazing force to be reckoned here for ARICAT. Unfortunately, when it came to push and shove, Renatus White, they just had the clutches going their way. It was what, 10-13 final scoreline, if I'm not mistaken. Correct, right? Sorry, 11-13 final scoreline.
11-13, yeah.
And those victories were just truly won by Clutch Aphrodite, who at this point just should be banned from clutching. It's just, it's not fair. She's too good. Oh, I think Almost had a little bit of trouble here. Or is it me who's gone? Oh, but regardless of which, coming back into this, game number 2 is coming in. So while we're trying to fix a couple of technical issues, I do have to point out, thank you guys all for tuning in. You're joining us yet again here on the Valorant Game Changers, and this has been just an amazing run thus far. So many great games, and the support for the female scene, obviously. Such great strides, such great progress has been made, and I'm happy that you guys are tuning in to this with us right here. We've seen a lot of great games. We've seen a lot of great players develop and evolve, over the past few months and the past years, just showing us that there are world-class competitors here in the game. Now, we are coming into game number 2, and we're taking a quick look at basically the statistics and how things are looking. Game number 2 is, however, the pick of Renatus, and it's truly very well a great chance for them to take that 2-0 like Omo predicted a little bit earlier on. But, coming into this with a very big disadvantage, ARICAT, they lost their own map pick in a very close game. They have this at this point they have this chance to sort of reset and take a little bit of a break, because it's got to be heartbreaking losing your map pick in such a close fashion after being clutched so many times by Clutch for Deity here. And what it takes to be, a professional player is you got to take those things in stride, say, okay, next game we move on, play things like each game is a best of one, take it round by round, and just, hope to get to game number 3. But in the meantime, of course, we are do have to give a big thank you to our sponsors, of course, Intel and Yahoo. And oh, hey, Omo, welcome back, man.
I'm back.
Hey,
Sorry about
back.
that. Nat
I'm
dropped out
Dad.
for a second. A bit of technical issues.
Sorry, I had to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
So we took a look at the stats. We are going to Icebox next, I believe.
yeah, and Icebox, I touched on it just a little bit, and he's frozen. Omo, Omo. Okay. Well, it is what it is. Sometimes this is just really what happens. But you're joining us again, and he wanted to talk about Icebox. So now that Icebox is brought up and Omo is frozen, just like in Icebox, we are going to talk about it just a little bit. So Icebox, one of the bigger maps, one of the maps that I think you have to have really good, solid fundamentals on. Just and of course, who has that in spades but none other than Renatus White. And sure, ARICAT, they do have great fundamentals as well, but I think that little bit of extra magic coming from Renatus White, you never really come into Icebox without a game plan. If you pick Icebox, you better have a plan on attacking side. You better have those executes ready and set up. You have to have everything under your arsenal to be able to take a W here, because otherwise, we've seen this so many times, time and time again. A lot of the teams, a lot of the players would get into Icebox and would have absolutely no clue how to run the attacking side just because of how intricate and how wide the map is and how many angles you have to check. Now, from what we've seen earlier on, Renatus, they have a good idea on how to run these kind of maps. They have good executes, they have set plays. ARICAT, they have that, sure. But Renatus, they're going to have a little bit more of an advantage here. And, Icebox has been in the map for a while, but I don't know, taking Renatus on their map choice, especially when the players are feeling hot like this, definitely going to be an uphill battle. Now, my co-caster Omo, we're getting him back in just a second. And while we're trying to get him back, I do have to talk to you guys about the upcoming, the players here. We got some of the best players in the scene coming up head to head. We talked about Renatus White, who has just been such a dominant force here. Even with a little bit of a change here, losing the donut, still proving that they are one of the teams formerly known as the Impaler. Kohibi having one of the top ACS in the scene on 303.6 ACS. That can only be higher now after that previous game. And also Keferdite, who is just basically the bastion of her team for the meantime. Now, going and talking a little bit about ARICAT, they are a team that definitely is looking pretty solid. They had a lot of great ideas and they were primed and ready to actually be the favorites and potentially to actually win the map there, Omo.
Yeah, they definitely were. I mean, we saw a really hot start coming in from Renatus White. But once ARICAT started finding their form, they really gave them a run for their money, and I think that they definitely had the better strategies. They definitely had the better approaches and post plants in that round. I'm not sure if you mentioned it actually, but we're seeing a bit of a roster swap shaking up coming in from the side of Renatus here.
No, I didn't mention it because we are just getting into the
Right.
into the map right here. But like you said, I am looking at the map, and we got 2 Vipers, and
Okay.
Viper has just been so good lately. Probably the best controller alongside Omen in this current meta, in this current patch.
It's definitely huge on Icebox as well. You really just cover half of the sites, especially on a bigger map like Icebox. That's just so valuable.
Yeah. So the amount of map control that you can get with a Viper, dude, it's just massive. Like, we see a lot of players putting that Viper wall on, and one of the great things that you can do is have the Viper solo B, because A is such a difficult site to hold on itself. And if you need that added boost in terms of the defense, you actually can rotate that Viper towards A to give you even more strength in holding it.
For sure, you have a lot of possible plays with the Viper, and I think looking at some VODs while preparing for this as well, I think of something you can really take note of is usage of the Viper's pit towards B, and how there are a couple of different angles you can actually place it towards to cover different sections of the map and how effective that can be. So for sure, I think the Viper is basically essential on Icebox. Other than that, I think compositionally wise, if we take a look across the board, it's pretty much a mirror once again. I'm trying to spot any differences. I don't believe I see any. So yeah, we're going to see a mirror, and I do believe that it's going to be RENATUS. Yeah, RENATUS is going to be on defense once again to start this one off.
Yeah, you're absolutely right here. I just feel like this is going to be more of the same. I bet this game is going to be close. I genuinely believe we would have seen overtime if not for Clutch for Like,
100%.
it was probably going to go to overtime.
Yeah. Aphrodite basically just stole 3 rounds away from the pockets of ARICAT right there. It was just daylight robbery. Completely ridiculous. Very brilliantly played from her.
Yeah, and let's see if she can keep up the trend here as we go into the second map of the series. One more chance for ARICAT to survive before... Otherwise, they go into the lower bracket, but RENATUS, they want to keep the lead going strong. They want to be able to have a better seeding. It does help out a lot, and we are seeing, like what we said, that solo Viper on B, just holding the angle, making life a little bit more difficult for whoever tries to push into it.
Yep, she has the power to completely cut out mid. Oh, she's gonna run into a fight though. Oh boy, Yoki was too close. She didn't know that.
Yeah, the timing just escaping her for the meantime, not able to drop down the... Oh, she does drop the snake bite, but just a little bit too late. Just by a hair here. And, ooh, quick tag right there over onto Mochi X. Gets brought down a little bit. Nothing too much to worry about. But the spike now going to be dropped down. Should be starting the plant. And the retake now should be getting 5v4.
Yeah, the standard B execute coming in there from ARICAT to get the plant down nice and easy the moment you take down the Viper. And of course, that is the danger of playing solo B as well. If they rush you like that and you're not aware of the angles, it gets so hard to retake the side. Here we go though. It's going to be a 4-on-5 like you mentioned. Nice smoke from Envious. Nice headshot.
That's still yellow to be worked on, but Envious follows it up with 3 kills right there. Big pickup on the pistol, looking to dash in for more. And oh my god, Envious! 4 kills on the pistol round. Is able to decimate ARICAT completely on the pistol.
Hot hands once again from Envious to start this one off. We saw the same story on Ascent. She started feeling it a little bit, dashing in aggressively, getting the frags on pistol, getting the frags early in the round. Now the story is, can she maintain this run of form as the map progresses? Because the same thing we saw on the last map, she was insane the first few rounds, but as it progressed, she started to cool down a bit, and then Aphrodite needed to be the one stepping up. So we want to see if Envious can keep this form going.
And, you know, like you said, man, form, it's just so important in this game here. And, spraying through the smoke, Kohibi is able to get a couple picks right there alongside Aphrodite. A side, they're going to leave it completely because B is the name of the game for now. And Aphrodite looking to swing wide and swing big onto both. She gets 3, leaving only Rudy and just absolutely no chance. 4 kills for you, Envious. I can get a 4K too here, mowing them down with that Spectre on the second.
Yeah, ARICAT, they tried to play mid on an eco round, and they really just ran into meat grinder between Kohibi Spectre and Aphrodite Spectre as well. So hard for the pistols to really contest these fights, especially with the brilliant utility usage coming out from RENATUS as well. And I think those 4 frags on Viper is huge, because that just means she gets the Viper pit so much earlier, and she's able to just lock down a B rush if it comes in.
You're absolutely right. Locking down that B site, it's so crucial right now. And now that they're playing on the bonus round and keeping that economy relatively clean, it's just going to give them such a bolster to it. Now, Aphrodite does hear that owl drone coming in, will call for support. And towards mid, that's going to be a little bit of information given. Aphrodite will be tagged up by that owl drone, so she has to fall back, give away that site.
Oh, this is big though. She gives a lot of space and a lot of information to ARICAT, who are once again, I believe, going to get the plant. And it's going to be another post-plant situation. Nice tap. Ooh.
Noxy. 2 big kills right there to secure double entry for Noxy. And she finds 3. And it's like a highlight reel going on. Everybody getting multi-kills on the round. If she gets this kill close range, that's going to be massive for her team. This is a bonus round. They want to keep it clean. Noxy's good enough to get close, but can she get the kill? No. It's Envious who does it. And we're we're gonna be seeing a 2v3. It has been made a little bit
Oh,
expensive
Yoki's
right now,
angle is
but
huge, though.
Yoki's got a great
That's the thing.
position. Ooh, lines up a double dink from mid, and it's still good enough to get the kill from Kohaibi, who lands nicely onto Rudy S,
Oh,
but still
too
not
low.
enough HP. Still exactly as you said, too low, 5 HP, too little, too late. But they make it hella expensive for ARICAT.
Definitely, and that's something that we hop on a lot because it's just so important when you're going into the anti-eco round, when you're going to the bonus round, you need to keep as many of these guns as you can. They lost 3 rifles that round, so this is going to be a very expensive one, and I think the decision now for ARICAT to make is what kind of buy are you going for? It looks like they're full committing to it. Everyone except Noxy, who has the knives available, because like you mentioned, her highlight reel came last round. Ultimately, though, the important thing I think is they didn't need to take so many of these duels. They didn't need to push so many of these angles once they had secured the site and risk losing their guns. They're going hard and fast towards A now, I think.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't think that they needed to push some angles like that, but Envious was so happy to challenge and get up close and personal and take so many fights. But like you said, going in towards A now, let's see what they can come up with.
Yeah, going towards A, the knives are coming in from Noxy. Of course, she's trying to push it fast, find an angle. She needs Envious, I believe. Oh, Kohaibi, nice shot.
Yeah, that's a big opening frag right there at the start of the round here. Monchi X, but they're traded out as well really quickly. 3v3, and they're trapped on the bottom of the site. KitKat. Oh.
If they
I
lose
see.
this round, Envious loses an operator, so this is going to be a huge one. She swaps to the Vandal, gets one.
And yeah, 2v2 right now. Spike going down here. Has been
Oh
dropped there,
my
but that's a great
goodness.
pick off by Envious. Great angle isolation. Has information on the bottom, and it's
Brilliant.
Envious yet again. Triple kill round after round. And RENATUS, they're like human highlight reels at this point.
To be fair, Noxy had a turn as well, but everyone, this map so far has just been a highlight reel map. We saw Kfudide, we saw Envious twice, we saw Noxy once, but the important thing that round is that Envious saved the operator, because if she lost that to ARICAT on a scuff buy from them, that would have been really negatively impactful for RENATUS. So gonna be sitting happy at 3-1, and let's see if they can keep this team on this one rolling. Okay, a little bit of swap around. I really like this. They put the operator towards B to anchor the site, while Viper goes to lock down A.
I have to. I'm having a little bit of a technical issue.
Oh,
Apologies,
happens.
but
All good. We're taking turns as well. The highlight reels and the technical issues.
yep.
All right, no worries. Take time to fix that one out. We're gonna take a look at B side right now. Envious doesn't manage to find the opening shot.
I think we're back. I think we're back
Okay,
right now,
awesome.
and opening right now for B site. They have information on the timing just not
Gets
right
one.
here, but KitKat
Oh,
swings
no!
out and
Ah.
all the way open. Envious dashes out into a little bit of an awkward spot. Big whiff, but it's a good recovery for Mochi X. That's gonna be a res in the middle of the open
boy.
right there. A little bit of
The
a
wall
questionable.
comes in late.
Yeah, a little bit questionable in terms of that res right now, but they're able to get one more kill. Fake plant. Not going to be able to do it as Mochi X
Nice.
cleans up the round. 3 kills for her, too. Everybody's getting triple kills now.
Everyone's getting some 3Ks, some 4Ks here and there. Like you mentioned, the rest was committed to that round, but the wall was just way too late, and her ally, Yoki, just gets dropped right after she gets resurrected. It's not really what you want to be seeing there. But I think really nice start to the round from Envious, finds the first frag. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more patient with the dash, though. You don't want to immediately commit it, not knowing what you're gonna be dashing into, because that leaves you stuck, like what we saw there. Now, Viper's Pit is available from Rosie. Let's see if they want to commit to any side with that play.
Yeah, she might just drop it onto B the moment she hears any presence, and then that'll sort of stifle any attack towards it. Looking to hold on to it for now, though. But one thing I wanted to talk about, Omo.
Yep.
The 6-man roster here of RENATUS White. They're
Yes.
bringing in Chloe for now, and we haven't really touched on her earlier. And, it's a very big debate as to whether this is a good thing, whether you keep 5 players or whether you have a 6-man to fill in for certain maps. And so far for RENATUS, it's really working out for them to have Chloe on board.
Yep. I mean, I think there's a lot of factors to consider, right? You risk losing some team synergy when you swap players in and out, but at the same time, especially for tactical shooters, which can be so exhausting,
Yeah.
having an extra player to just really refresh your team is just so important to have sometimes. And of course, I believe that Asian specialization is a big part of that as well, with Chloe being a dedicated Sage player on the team. Nice think bite, does a bit of damage there.
No, I wonder if they go and commit that ultimate there towards B just to sort of fake it. No, they're gonna rotate the ultimate, the Viper's Pit towards A, which is now completely open after
Okay.
Envious gets dropped down right there.
Very
And that
nice
A
fake
side
out. Okay.
completely open right here.
I really like this from ARICAT. That was a fantastic fake out coming in from them. Chloe gets one at mid though, but we see a huge flank coming around from Rudy's. Might be able to make it huge here. It's gonna take Renatus a lot of time to get inside with the Viper's pit down.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
one.
great shot right there from Mochi. See if she can actually find any more, but doesn't look like it for the meantime. Making quite a bit
Oh,
of
she's
noise,
so
and the
low, the
HP
DK.
dwindling
Oh!
down. Still manages to land the headshot, and that's the Viper's pit gone. But Rudy's able to find the flank kill, and that's gonna leave it all in the hands of Kohaibi.
They're
Can
not
she make this
peeking her.
clutch happen? They have a lineup for it. Hunter's Fury will be deployed now. She knows where she is, and I think it's just gonna be time to run.
She wants to save a gun, and I do believe that she will. Ultimately, though, like we mentioned, the post plans from ARICAT have been fantastic. The usage of utility, the usage of lineups to keep the spike secure from the diffusers, and that's gonna bring ARICAT back on the board for a second round in this half.
Just 2 rounds separates these two teams, and
Yep.
the economy of Renata is starting to dwindle away, and Aricat looking to build up theirs for the meantime. They have forced a really expensive rebuy. Chloe is only on a Bulldog, but with the new meta, the Bulldog and the Stinger, it's been pretty great as of late, the whole right-clicking thing.
Yep.
Um, it's been pretty potent.
Definitely, you need to just do a little bit of tweakings with your bindings there. It can do a lot of work for sure. Nice repositioning from Chloe.
Oh,
Does the wall get taken down? I think they were trying
it
to spray
does.
the wall down, and she gets sprayed through it. That's really unfortunate for Chloe.
Yeah, and that's the
Losing the
res
mid
gone
presence.
as well from the rest of the round. No way that
Yep.
they can get a res, so they have to win this cleanly. From up close,
one.
Kohaibi has a dismiss if she needs it, but she won't because Kefrida is right there for the backup.
Yep, really nice team play, fragging off of each other, picking the angles together, and picking off your teammates. That's something everyone should strive to be doing. Nice, and they just cleaned up the round.
Yeah, good
Chloe
attempt.
only loses the Bulldog.
They do lose the Bulldog, and that was the one gun that they were happy to like. Ah, yeah, whatever, it's fine. They're not too worried about that. Pointing out, Envious 11-3, my guy, 11-3, and it's round 8.
11-3, definitely having a huge start to the round. We saw the same thing on the stand as well. Envious always comes in hot at the start of the game, just needs to maintain the form throughout the map. And yeah, I mean, I think Renatus are in a fantastic position for this map. Of course, this is going to be their map pick. Ascent was chosen for map 1 by ARICAT. Unfortunately, weren't able to close that one out. It ended 13-11 in favor of Renatus. And Kohaibi, once again, going for an aggressive play towards B. I like this a lot when you see teams with double duelists play really hard and fast towards B aggressively on defender side. I think it's a very potent combo.
Yeah, but Rudy is waiting for
Oh
it.
boy.
It's all about who lands the
is?
shot, and it's gonna be Rudy here.
Okay.
No chance for a trade kill, and that's a Vandal in her hand. She can heal it, no problem. Not going to be able to get the full, but still, it's pretty significant as well. One more orb. If she picks up the orb or gets the spike, that's a res. So this eco round could prove to be very, very good for ARICAT.
It's definitely doable for them. They have a gun in the hand of Rudy, like you mentioned, and they're gonna go for a play towards mid once again. Yoki.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
they're making the shares work.
Yeah, they're lining up those shots, and they've brought it to a 3v5. Again, the res being gone so early, no chance to level the playing field, but they still have the weapons advantage. But still, there's also 2 rifles now on ARICAT's side. This is starting to look dangerous. Kefrida looking to go for that B main play, but right behind her, it's already somebody knowing that she's there. Mochi X is able to get some cleanup kills, and they managed to isolate Rosie, who was trying to reposition, and the spike completely planted in the wrong area
boy.
for her. They're gonna stick this defuse. They hear the footsteps trying to spray through it. Kit Kat, no, only gets 1. Now it's all up to Rudy, who does have a Vandal.
Oh no,
but
she
can
has to
get the
run.
kills? She has to spray it down. No, she doesn't. Oh, she misses the chance. But she gets the kill and makes it expensive. 5 kills on the eco round regardless for ARICAT.
Yeah, they definitely make that one super expensive for Renatus, but Renatus, they end the round with a W in the books, and that's still not the end of the world for them. I mean, it was really unfortunate. Losing 5 rifles is never what you want to be doing against a team on eco. Still, though, they get the win, and let's see. Okay, they do manage to cobble a buy together. They are going to be completely broke next round, though. So once again, the reminder is you have to keep as many of these rifles as you can.
Well, as you can see, 4 rounds ahead, Renatus have found themselves, and I like this. The aggressiveness from Renatus is, it's such a double-edged sword that sometimes they get caught off guard with it.
Yep.
Because Envious pushing out like that actually gave them the rifle, which made it super duper expensive for them. But regardless, they still win, and for the most part, it works out for them.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out in the end. They get the win, but like you mentioned, these pushes are a double-edged sword, right? Like, if you get the play, if you get the info, if you get the frags, it's huge, but you should never risk it against ecos, because if you lose and give them the rifles, okay, maybe not never, but you should be more careful when you risk it against ecos, as we go for the push.
Yeah, that's a quick kick right there.
1-for-1.
Noxy able to get one. Kohaibi falls back after that trade. That's the res already being used here. Kohaibi goes down. KitKat with good for the entries. Looking for another. Just going to be denied. And that's a res on the other side. Rosie trapped in the corner is able to make good use of it. As she goes down now 2v3. The ultimate's available. Viper's Pit comes out. And they're just going to be trying to desperately spam through
really
it. But
stuck once
Aphrodite,
again.
she's going to stick it. No business trying to get close to it. And even if he does, Kohaibi is ready for it.
Yeah, there wasn't really much really could have done there. She probably just needed to concede that round, save a gun, try to do her best in that situation. But yeah, Kohaibi and Envy are sitting on top of the charts with 11 frags apiece. Definitely super huge round coming in from them. 7-2 on RENATUS' map pick. This is kind of what you expected to see from them. They have, of course, been generally the second or third best team here in the Valorant Game Changers, going up against a team which has generally been middle of the pack in ARICAT. They finished, I do believe, maybe 5th or 6th in most of the opens so far. Definitely, though, the last map indicates some signs of life from them. They looked really good in the last one, and let's hope they can keep it going, try to claw their ways back into this one.
Yeah, just a little bit of a fun fact for you guys who are watching at home also. Galaxy Racer, all of the fans, the matches for Galaxy Racer are actually ongoing right now, and they just took their first win in the series. But going back into the action, 4v4 right now, Hunter's Fury to deny that plan for the meantime as they slow down the pace here. And it's going to be a great kill for Mochix to find Rosie. That's going to be the Viper gone. No more lineups, especially with KitKat following that right up. But Noxy is able to get two. Now it's a 1v1. Kohaibi gonna get that
nice
pick
shot.
off all the way down towards Orange. And it's a nice one tap to seal the deal and get RENATUS another round. 8-2 there, Omo.
And that was a very stylish kill as well. She scopes in onto the head, bang, gets the shot. Very nice there coming in from Kohaibi. 313 combat score right now. We talked about how she is typically the point of focus. Alright, let's look at the clutch once again. Very nice first shot with the Empress. And it gets a very nice quick scope headshot Vandal combo to close that one out from Kohaibi. Yeah, she's generally the focus when most people talk about this team. When people talk about RENATUS, she tends to be brought up as a star player. And it's nice to see her living up to the reputation here in the second map.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. Kohaibi has been such a great player, but it's nice to see everybody stepping up right now. And look at this aggressive push. 2 players all the way down mid. But again, like we said, double-edged sword. Massive punish right there. That's a rifle gone.
That's a rifle gone right from the get-go. Aphrodite, especially being on the Viper, you don't want to be the one that gets dropped since your utility is basically the most important. Doxy coming hard and fast.
Yeah, great entry from Rosie. Gets a double. Noxy actually misses the blade, but Rosie does not miss a beat here. Has been such a great force for her team. And now they have side control completely. There's a flank being worked on, but they know she's there. And so Kohaibi's in a bind as to whether to push or deal with the person towards mid. And this round has gone topsy-turvy. ARICAT have a great chance of taking this, but KitKat is going to take Chloe down. Now it's all up to Kohaibi, and this might be a little bit too much to ask for her for now.
It's a tall task, but we've seen bigger clutches than this. Of course, this is going to be a 1v5. Let's see if she can just find a couple of frags here or there. Rudy's is, of course, coming in for the flank as well, so she has to go fast.
Okay.
That's one.
Able to isolate one, gets around the corner, gets one more before she drops. And that's
Very nice
still a
flick.
great attempt from Kohaibi, making, forcing the rebuys. But at the end of the day, ARICAT, they didn't really invest that much in the round. They'll take that any day.
For sure. I mean, the double peak is just too much to deal with for basically anyone. I mean, it's so impossible if they hit their shots for you to tap one and flick to the other. Kohaibi tried her best, but of course it's not going to be enough. 3-8 scoreline though. They're still sitting pretty in this one. This time around though, the buys are going to be scuffed coming in from the side of RENATUS.
Just going back a little bit to the point that we mentioned earlier, for anybody who wants to watch on YouTube, we have the games of Galaxy Racer and Asteria happening right now with Galaxy Racer taking the first game. So make sure to tune into the other streams. We have multiple streams right here for the VCT. The Game Changers, the VCT Game Changers. Such a great, massive tournament here. But getting back right into it, Noxy does spot the leg of Keferdite here and Envious right around this corner. Oh, one right click. One right click is all it takes.
It's a very dangerous position for our opponents, but also for her. Let's see if Envious can find this one.
Nope.
Doesn't quite get it in time. I mean, that's the problem with holding one corner. You kind of lose out on the Pika's advantage.
Spike down A.
Yeah,
Ivy, though.
and especially when you're playing online and not on the LAN, it's a little
Yep.
bit harder to just hold angles like this.
For
I
sure.
think you know, Tens touched on it recently back when he was playing in Iceland. How great it feels to hold angles on LAN, but you know, in online settings like this, you got to go for those peaks, and it's starting to show like right now that you got to be looking for those aggressive angles.
Yeah, that's why when you're holding corners, it's always nice to have a little bit of jiggle peeking going on, although it might give away your position. That's always
Yeah.
nice to have a little bit of the Pika's advantage going on there. Nice round to close out the half from ARICAT, finding the frags that they need to individually. And RENATUS this time around going to be on attacker side. Let's see what they can find here. Of course, this was, in the last map, this was when Keferdite started popping off, so let's see if we can see a bit of a repeat of that here today.
Well, at the moment, ARICAT, they're making things interesting. An 8-4 scoreline, it's actually not that bad. Because this is one of those maps where you can definitely come back if you're more familiar with one side or another. But it's already starting to show that Renatus have such a great feel of the defensive side here for Icebox, and I would wager that they would feel more of the same comfort in their attacking side.
Yep, for sure. I mean, this was a map pick, so I do have faith in them to close this one out. They only need 5 more rounds. Kit Kat, though, with a very aggressive position. So he does not expect this.
Oh, but the trade just
Nice
comes
refrag.
so quickly.
Yep, nice refrag there from Kohaibi. They're not going to commit to A side, though. They have info in B. They kind of baited the rotate away from ARICAT, though. And Keferdite with the spike is just making a beeline to B right now.
Yeah, and they have no idea that Rosie is here in this corner. But still, good pick off. Rosie gets the kill onto Envious, but drops down to 20 HP. A shock dart, anything will do it right now. Just
Hang on a second
strong
there. She
gust of
hasn't
wind.
committed her smoke yet. They have a choice to use it towards B for the retake, but this is a very interesting tactical decision to hold it this late in the round.
Yeah, and you know, in fact, they actually get to heal Rosie up, but it's not going to be for long as Rosie goes down, and Rudy being the last player.
One
No,
or two.
sorry, it's Keferdite being the
It's
last
time.
person standing. Is it the Keferdite clutch? Is it
It's
the
time.
Keferdite clutch? And again,
It's time!
Keferdite, what? Again? How? Clutch
We
counter.
don't even need to look. We don't
Clutch
even need
counter.
to look at the screen. The spectators just said we don't even need to see that. We know Keferdite is gonna win that. We knew it. The viewers at home knew it. Both teams kind of knew it somewhere in their hearts as well. And Keferdite 1v2 wins the pistol for RENATUS.
It's really kind of disgusting that she just wins every single clutch.
The clutch minister of FSL.
There's a reason why she's so good, because her brain
For
is
sure.
so good. She's got a good brain for the game. No, for
I've
real.
never heard a better
I-
explanation than that.
No, I mean it. Because clutching is all about the mind games, bro,
It's
and
true,
she's
yeah.
got it.
It's
She's
about
got
the
the
nerves
brain.
as well. You gotta keep cool. You gotta keep, the 3 C's. Cool, calm, and collected, and that's exactly what we saw from Keferdite. Big brain and the 3 C's.
4 C's for clutch.
4 C's. Of course, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, big the dash
Going
missing
fast,
from
though.
Envious right there, but. You know, it's a great round for ARICAT. They are managing to hold on for now because they went for the force buy in this round. Kit Kat gets one before she drops. Now Mochi all alone here. Shock Dart, able to
Oh,
get
nice.
that one. Mochi X looking for the swing out, looking for that, but
Oh.
no, it's Rosie! And all is well and good for now, and they managed to steal away a round from Renatus with that force buy. Great round from ARICAT.
Yep, big frag there from Rosie as well. We saw a lot coming up from her on the Sentinel in Ascent. Not the best game so far from her, or for the matter anyone outside of ARICAT, but she's trying to pull this one back a little bit. Now, let's see what she wants to do with her lineups, because it's so interesting to note that in the pistol round, she opted not to use her Viper Wall early in the round, and it ended up with her dying before she could use it at all. So I want to see where she commits it this time. It seems like she's holding it again. That's very curious. Maybe they want to use it for retakes.
Well, retakes on Icebox are pretty much super important. And
Yeah.
I think if you know that you're a team that does better on retakes, or if your team composition is more suited to retakes, then you should start really considering giving up the sites a lot more. And that's, I think, one of the ways that you can. Ooh, that's a good shot from Envious right there to bring it back. And you know, going back to what I was saying, Omo, you have to know the win conditions, especially on Icebox for your team. If you're a defensive-sided team and you keep forcing fights, even when you're a retake-sided composition, you're gonna take a loss, man.
Definitely, you have to know your pros and your cons, your strengths and your weaknesses, and play towards them. Kifadide dropping, Rosie dropping. This is gonna be huge for both teams because it means the sites are gonna be naked, no smokes anywhere, no walls from Viper. 2 on 4,
Yeah. And
1 on
this-
4.
Yeah,
1 on 3.
Okay. Yeah, you for a second you believe, especially after Yoki dropped down to 27 HP, but still it should be another clean round here. Renatus looking like they're pretty much still in it. I mean, sorry, ARICAT looking like they're still pretty much in it. 3 rounds separate these two teams, but this next round is absolutely going to be crucial. If Renatus wins this, they could force ARICAT into an eco, I think. I have to double check on the economy, but it's still going to be a massive chance here because if they get to 10, this is when ARICAT really starts sweating.
For sure, I think that's definitely the case here, especially with the economy. Like you mentioned, I think ARICAT will kind of be able to scuff by to get the next round, even if they lose this one.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world for them.
Ooh,
But
no.
RENATUS, they need to start getting some tempo going in their favor.
I'm actually going to disagree with you. I just took a quick look at the economy. If ARICAT
No money?
actually lose this, they're probably going to be broke.
Oh, that's really unfortunate then, because then you threaten the 11. So RENATUS, they really need this one.
Oh!
Oh boy, envious.
What is that spray transfer from Envious? He misses the second one, but still, that's all you want from your, your entry.
Yeah, very aggressive there from Envious. She dashes into the side, but she wasn't quite able to find a second kill. And it looks like they're going for the rotate out back into A. They're gonna walk into Noxy.
Uh-oh. That's a big miss right there from
That's
Noxy.
huge.
That should have been a kill.
One more
But
challenger.
Now,
Yoki.
yeah, they still have to deal with Yoki there, who is holding the trade. Oh no,
Oh
she
no,
gets
she
spotted out.
refused herself.
But there's backup in the form of Mochi X right there. He gets one. Kefrodite goes down, and it's a 3v2.
Yeah, it's really curious how this round is playing out. They committed so hard to the B side with Envious just dashing in, unable to find the follow-up frags after the first one though.
She
Hunter's
can't
Fury
plan.
just gonna stop the plan. Yeah. Now she can. And let's see if they can hold it for the post-plant.
They actually give her information right now, but swinging all alone. Rudius is good for one. She doesn't get the second. And it's another win here for Renatus. They're this much closer. And I think they've forced ARICAT on an eco here. We'll have to, again, double check on the economy. But from the looks of it, it looks like they'll be on a very low buy.
It seems like both of these teams are going to be low on economy and their buys are going to be a little bit scuffed for both sides. Let's take a look at RENATUS. I don't know if they're going to full buy. Okay, it looks like they do have enough to full buy. And you were right, Illustrado. They are broke on the side of ARICAT. So this is 11 being threatened here for RENATUS. And that's going to be huge for them.
Yeah, like we said, it's just all sheriffs all across the board. But ARICAT, they have been good with the sheriffs. And so we'll see if they can get this pick off towards mid here. KitKat will be punished by getting a little bit too cheeky. Slow Orb will make things a little bit more difficult to maneuver, but still no kills to be found here for the ARICAT side.
Yeah, it's going to be a very hard one for ARICAT right now. The angles are so long towards this mid section that it's going to be so hard for them to play.
Yeah, but look at where Envious has snuck up to. He's gotten all the way up into Kitchen right here. Actually could come up big, but they might check her angle right now. Envious gets one. Yeah, unfortunately, it's only one. But still, a massive advantage right now. 2 ultimates available for Renatus. They have the Viper's Pit. If there's any time to use it, it should be now.
Yep. They have the gun, so it's not impossible for them. Viper's Pit, they need to get into a good position for it right now. Not sure if they want to commit to it. They might have mentally accepted that this is going to be a hard round to win. We see the wall come down, though. They're sticking the defuse. Hunter's Fury.
Oh, massive
Brilliant.
Hunter's Fury from Mochi X. Gets 2 on the defuse. And that's
You see the
11 for
Tetris
Renatus.
Yeah, the Tetris Sage walls as well coming in to just kind of block out the spike on both sides. And that's the power of a brilliant post-plant setup. You just hide somewhere with your Viper, you hide somewhere with your Killjoy, or in this case with your Sova, and you just hold the spike down from 2 screens away. There's not much you can really do against that.
And I think they were on full HP. What I think happened there was the vulnerability from Kefrodite combined with the Hunter's Fury just led to a one-hit kill. Because the
That makes
vulnerability
sense.
from Kefrodite actually doubles the damage that you take. That's what vulnerable does.
This is a very nice adaptation, though. They commit the Viper's Pit on A instead of B.
Yeah, some teams are known to do this, especially when you have a very big weakness onto that A side, or you just want to reinforce it that much more. And it's a
That's
good
what.
read
Oh,
right here from ARICAT.
she had the snake bite out, so she wasn't able to pick up the frag onto Kefudide. Oh, sorry, rather onto Kohaibi.
Still, the Viper Spit is proving a little bit difficult to deal with. They still can't really find their way into it or around it. And it just sort of staggers them for the meantime. They don't find a lot of ground, but they do burn a lot of utility.
Yeah, they fish a little bit for some angles onto the snake, onto the Viper's pit. They try to find something that weren't quite able to, and they're gonna be rotating out right back into the operator of Noxido.
Easiest shot of her
They're
life right
stuck.
there.
They're between a rock and a hard place right now, and they're saying, "All right, it's the Viper's pit or the operator. Which one is it gonna be?"
They go for the res though, but that's going to be the wall gone and the res, so it was an expensive one in the end, and that's going to be Rosie to take down Kefrodite, who was trying to play up close, and the angle still has not been dealt with. Kohaibi health ticking away as they try to push their way into sight. They know that they don't have a lot of time to mess around here, and that's Rosie from up on above just raining down terror here as the defensive hold is so strong. Rosie just having a field day, fish in a barrel, ladies and gents.
Yeah, it was such an unfortunate round for RENATUS. They really got stuck between the Viper's pit or the operator in mid. And it was a very tough call for them to make. They chose to run it into the Viper's pit. Not sure if that was the best call they could have made right there, but they tried their luck. It didn't quite pay off in the end, and that's going to be a 7-4 ARICAT.
Yeah.
This time around, broke on the side of RENATUS.
So excited to see what they can come up with here, and we're actually really seeing how good RENATUS is on their attacking side.
Yeah.
But this is a little bit of a conundrum though, because that victory from ARICAT was because they had the Viper Spit and a really good position on the operator. Well, how are they going to win the round without them? But as I say that, Rosie playing close, gets 2.
Oh, boy.
Swing out, dodges the blades, finds 3.
That's brilliant.
Great hold for now. Still alive, finds 4, looking for the ace, and Rosie.
Go!
And life is a bed of roses for her as she gets 5 kills on this round. It's
All
an
right.
anti-eco for sure, but regardless, what a great hold.
Run it back. Let's take a look at the replay for that one. That was fantastic. Technical timeout from RENATUS. Their mentals are... Okay, not their mentals are broken, but they need to definitely take a reset after getting aced by Rosie. Let's take a look right here. Steals the first kill onto Kohaibi, repositions around the box, gets Kefudide, who wasn't expecting this angle, swings back around, picks up Envious, reloads, and double spray headshots Chloe and Mochi. This was a amazing round, a clinic coming out from Rosie right there, and we talked about that last map as well. When Rosie's on, she really does a lot for her team.
Yeah, Rosie has been a stalwart for ARICAT, even in the first game, and now coming up huge in this one. Hopefully they're able to make things a little bit more meaningful, because they haven't been getting they haven't really been getting the rounds that they need when it comes down to it. Now we're seeing a tactical timeout because RTS, they want to deny that momentum from ARICAT. They want to nip it in the bud, so to speak, this early on.
For sure, and that's definitely a good call. Come for them for that one. Kefudide has the Viper's Pit, so that's gonna be a very big cooldown that they could expand either this round or the next. They definitely have options for that one.
But only 3 rounds separates these two teams. This is
Yep.
getting a little bit worrisome. The lead was pretty
For sure.
significant coming into the second half. But now, RENATUS, they are definitely starting to feel the pressure now because they have been letting a few rounds slip away from them. Rosie's trying to play this cheeky angle, but they're
Oh,
doubling
boy.
up here towards B. That Aldrone could prove to be her downfall, however, if they
Nope,
check it.
doesn't check it. She's good.
Oh, but
She's good. She's still
regardless-
holding the corner. She doesn't want just one. She's gonna wait. She wants more.
Well, oh, she sees the
sees the
barrel
gun.
of the gun. That's great for one. She cannot get any
One for
more.
one. Yeah. The repeat there, not gonna quite work out for her, but numbers advantage still on the side of RENATUS. They have the Viper's Pit once again.
Welcome to my
They're gonna commit it to A. Nice rotations. I really like how fluid these teams are, committing between A and B. That's really nice, and it's a good adaptation, which we really want to keep seeing from them. They're able to adapt based on how the round plays out.
The retake now coming in, and it's going to be a tough retake for sure, especially with that operator. But still, Yoki is able to find a great pick. They have to deal with the Viper's wall here. The Viper's pit, excuse me. Noxy getting tagged up a little bit. Up onto Heaven, and Kefrodite looking to sniff him out. in her own pit. Noxie's able to find one more, and suddenly this retake very much possible. Noxie sees the legs. Aphrodite going down, and it's all up to Kohibi in a 1v3, but no, they've made it happen. ARICAT, they stay alive, they stem the bleeding, and RENATUS, they are looking a little bit confused on this attacking side.
No, this is what we talked about. The post plants are the issue from RENATUS. They have no problem getting frags. They have no problems winning duos, getting to the sides. It's just where do you go after you plant? When we see a Viper's Pit being committed by Rosie and ARICAT, it looks so impactful. They just take over the side completely. They lock it down on defense. On the other hand, when Aphrodite and RENATUS do it, and their post plants in general, it's just underwhelming. Like they just stay where they would normally stay without Viper's Pit. They don't get good post plant positions. They don't back out safely outside. It's just unfortunate. And the economy is so good for ARICAT right now. They're gonna tie this one up, I believe.
I think so too, and especially with that Viper's wall, the Viper's ulti. How can they deal with this? Rosie is playing up close though. Sees the leg. Your legs can be seen. Spray him down. Rosie gets one. Is able to dodge and get out of a tough situation right there. No trades possible right now for RTS.
Yeah, they're rotating back around into A side, it looks like. They don't want to challenge the Viper's Pit once again, but with no guns, it's going to be so difficult for them.
Just 3 sheriffs, and the Spectre is all that's left in their hands. And if they can make this happen, I would be a believer, but you know, they have been great on ecos before. I just don't think this is one of those instances. But the fact that they actually have the Viper's Pit already gone, especially for the next gun round, that's already a pretty big deal here for
they're going back into the pit. They choose to challenge it once again. Do they find Rosie though? The health bars are just ticking down. It's so unfortunate. It's gonna be a slaughter. It's a slaughter.
Yeah, all she has to do is really tap on the bodies just because of how much HP is gone from walking around in the Viper's Pit.
It's just a curious vision. Like, I know it's difficult to challenge the other sides, but when you run into a Viper's Pit, and you have to run, or rather walk through the entire Viper's Pit, you just end up 1 HP at the end of it. It's a very questionable call to me.
Aphrodite, okay, she has the operator.
Okay.
And they're gonna save it for the next
That's
round
something.
here.
That's something. It's not the end of the world. They get a little bit of a consolation prize, I would say.
It's also dependent on whether they wanted to have the op or not, you know?
Yep.
Like,
True.
I mean, sure, they take away the op from the hands of ARICAT, but at the same time, are they really a team that want to be playing with the op, especially in the upcoming rounds? But they do get it onto Envious, who... Look at that, just easy pickings. All you have to do is shoot the body.
You could say it's a highlight reel for Rosie, but I prefer to say that's a bit of a low light reel for RENATUS. Not really what you want to see. Yeah, but we'll have to take a look at the operator. I think that's gonna be key. Can Envious find any picks with it? Nice opening one, punishes the aggressiveness of KitKat. 1v1 with the operators. Envious wins it.
And those are the duels that you really need to find, man. Just really great pickups from Envious there. Shutting down the operator. Noxie is gone. Envious still doing work from the back lines, and this could be it. This could be match point. Yoki, 1v4, now a 1v3. As her position is given away, she has the Hunter's Fury, but she's worried about the flank, so she's checking it diligently. 6 bullets in her chamber. Can't even reload because of the threat of a lurk coming in.
They know where she is. There's so many angles to check. There's so many walls out there blocking the side off. She's gonna try it. I mean, the economy on the side of ARICAT is good. They would want to take some guns away from RENATUS, I believe, and that's not a bad call at all. Spots one.
Oh,
nice
good
try.
Adjustment.
Okay.
Yoki. Suddenly it's possible, but Aphrodite.
It is Aphrodite.
Oh, the snake bite. She's just playing for time now. Aphrodite doesn't lose this. Aphrodite
she doesn't need to win it. She doesn't need to win it. Brilliant. I love it. The patience, the calmness, the coolness of Aphrodite. Very well done.
I like that she knows when to play it smart and play it passive, and when to actually go for kills. In that round, she just plays it calm. She's just like, yeah, I'm just gonna snake bite this and then dodge around the corner, and because at that point you have to push me.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna pick you off then.
Very well played. I mean, Aphrodite I don't think we've seen her lose a single clutch so far this entire series, so very nicely done from her individually. Map point, a series point for RENATUS right now. ARICAT, they do have a good economy still. They have 4 buys across the board. They need to take this one to try to bring it to overtime. Rosie trying her best once again on the B side. Has the lineup, gonna use it. Committing at this time around yellow boxes.
And they're trying to just prod their way in, just maybe bait a couple of rotations. It's only 2 players here towards that B side, but it's still a difficult 2 players to get through. That's the Sentinel and the Viper.
Oh,
Not the
they're committing
easiest.
to it. Just hear the guns blasting off, but no kills, no damage just yet. Alright, wall comes in. Plant is gonna be coming in from Chloe. Oh, they blast down the wall so quick.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury deployed just to be able to give them a little bit more space to get closer for the retake because they know that the spike is now towards B. And they're already cutting off the rotation now towards mid here, just to be able to lock them in here. But obviously, you know, RENATUS, they must know that this is a possibility. So they're going to be smoking off the angle. That's a quick smoke right there. Rosie still trying to work her way towards that side. And Envious looking desperately
30
for something
seconds
to
left.
work with because they're still trying to work towards B here. It doesn't look like they're going to be given much to play with. Nice opening shot right there for Envious, who finds almost the second. Is able to bring down Ludi quite low here, but Kohibi's right there with the trade-off. There is a res here for ARICAT. Can they even get close to it? Now the spike coming down. The Viper's wall will stifle them for now. Kipperdiety on the flank, on the lurk. 2 players now from behind. And it's going to be a great round here. It's looking like RENATUS are going to take this. But KitKat, she's got it. So does Yoki. 2v1. Mochi and Kipperdiety, they're still alive, but they have the lineups, man. Kipperdity's got the lineups into play, and they still have the Vipers. I mean, Oh. No, she's got to stick
Oh,
it.
it's so hard. She has so little time. She has no space to work with at all. They're gonna try and push her. Yep. Kefudari does not lose these, and that's gonna be RENATUS taking the map and taking the series 13-10. They take it 2-0 in the end, but ARICAT definitely gave them a run for the money, and it was a 2-0, but it was, you know, if you just look at the scoreline 2-0, suggested stomp, it definitely wasn't anything but that. So close, such a good fight coming up from ARICAT.
Yeah, you predicted it, man. 2-0. That was your prediction. Everybody else was going for a 2-1. It could have come down to it, but at the end of the day, when Keferdite is playing like that, there's really not much you can do.
Yeah.
But you know, it has been an amazing series thus far. But don't worry, if you're fans of ARICAT, they still go down to the lower bracket. They still got a chance to come back in here, where they're going to be facing you know, everybody else who drops into the lower bracket. It is the first day, however, so you know, a lot of chance for these players to come back into it.
Yeah, they still have an extra life, so it's completely fine for them. I think the performance is nothing to be ashamed of so far. They definitely had some very good ideas approaching these games. Their plays looked practiced, their post plants were clean, and I think, I mean, I'm hoping to see more out of ARICAT. RENATUS, though, congratulations to them. They move on 2-0. Most people were touting them as maybe the second or third best team here for sure. After Alter Ego Celeste, so we'll have to see what they can do, and I do believe they need to clean up their play a little bit more here. Don't rely so much on your individual power. Progress more as a team, and I think we'll make them see a deep run for sure.
Yeah, I agree with you here, but you know, we do have to take a little bit of a breather because when we come back, we got the panel coming out to hang out with you and sort of break down what happened. But before we do that, of course, any final thoughts on that last series that we just witnessed, Domo?
Yeah, Kefudite is the clutch minister. Get some statistics on that. I think it's somewhere close to, I think it was 100% today for sure. But over the course of FSL Opens, it's probably something like 50-60%, which is a ridiculous clutch wins statistic.
Yeah, I want to take an exact look. Maybe we'll go back at the VODs and see how many clutches that she's actually won here. But at the end of the day, it's all about who gets that big W. And again, it's RENATUS White to prove that they are one of the front runners in this entire competition. Maybe we'll see them hopefully at FSL Elite towards the end of the year. But again, we're going to be taking a short break now. And again, my name is Illustrado, and joining me on this desk today was Omo. This was us for the final time here today. We still have upcoming games for the rest of the day, so please make sure to check out the other streams. The Bahasa stream is happening, the Thai stream is happening, so definitely check those out. Again, for last time today, I'm Illustrado, this is Omo. Good game and good night. We'll see you guys with the panel in just a second, so don't just go anywhere just yet.
Hi guys, and welcome back to our final disc segment of today's VCT Game Changers Southeast Asia Series FSL Circuit. It's me, January Julie, and joining me on the desk to rack up today's games is your caster from the last series, the Prophet himself, who predicted that 2-0, Leonard Omo Low. How do we think the last series between ARICAT, ARESTA, and RENATUS White went? Talk me through it.
Yeah, so if we take a look at Icebox, I mean, I think RENATUS put on a really good, ARICAT put on a really good fight, to be honest. We take a look at the stats, Kohibi stepping up big in this one, 1.6 KDA with a 258 combat score. Through most of the map, she maintained 300 plus combat score, but of course, Rosie, the ace in this one, the one that was really trying to not let a team down, 300 combat score, nearly a 2 KDA on that Viper. Huge performance coming out from her despite the loss.
Yep, absolutely huge stats. I mean, we saw this 2-0, but it just was one of the closest 2-0 best of 3 series that I've ever seen. And like, I mean, even for FSL, we tend to get a lot of these, you know, going all the way to 3 games, to 4 games, to 5 games in that series. So, you know, if you guys are watching this, you're just tuning in for the wrap-up show and you're wondering, I kind of can't remember what happened in game number 1. Don't worry, fam, we got you. We're gonna show y'all some highlights.
Yeah, so really nice frags, really nice headshots coming in.
We're muted, right?
Show me what you got. Back that up, 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 ba
Yeah, we saw some
That-
great clips. Nice
yeah,
shots.
yeah. We saw some clips already. Can we just take a minute to talk about Kphrodite? That clutch to round out that game number 1 on its scent when her team was like 12-11. That absolute clutch at the end. I think we had a couple of hashtags and stuff going on in chat. We're trying to make that clutch Phrodite name change happen. I swear it needs to happen. Like you get 1 free name change every month, and like she needs to get on that real quick.
Definitely fitting for her, but you know, it's kind of a bit egoistical to change her name to that. It's something we, the community, put upon her. She's the clutch minister, she's the clutch Phrodite. She can just play it cool and keep it a Kphrodite. I think she's good to go. But
I feel
honestly,
it-
those clutches,
Yeah, that was like chef's kiss. Some of the
Seriously,
best
yeah.
plays I have ever seen. I think like she clutched at least 5 times in this series, and I think by like the 3rd or 4th time it was happening, like I wasn't even Usually, when she's clutching, I'm clutching too. But like by the third or fourth time when that was happening, I was just like, you know what? She got this. I mean, like I would be way more
Yeah.
surprised if she didn't manage to clutch that one out. Talk us through that game number one, Omo, because you were there. I was there. We were watching that one. It looked very even, which is what I think if people are just like tuning in right now and seeing like, oh, it's a 2-0 scoreline, like they might not understand just how close the entire series was. Both game one and game number two were super even. I think game one, the score is like 6-6, 8-6, just always within that 1 or 2 round difference. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, honestly, the first map started off super one-sided. I mean, RENATUS, they looked really hot coming off the bat. Envious especially was finding a lot of these brilliant opening kills on defense. But things started to even out a little bit more, and I think, honestly, as a team, ARICAT played really well today. Their approaches to post plan and the way they pushed together and fragged together as a team was really nice. Ultimately, though, you can't really win. You can't really claw your way back into a comeback when Kfudide is playing like that. It was absolutely amazing. I do believe it closed out 13-11. So really nice performance of both of these teams. And in the second map as well, kind of a similar story. They tried to claw their way back into it with some great individual performances, but not quite enough at the end of the day.
Yeah, not quite enough at the end also, but just to remind everyone back home, because we are playing 4 full days of playoffs for our tournament format this time around, as compared to like just one weekend of games. We've got the whole double elimination bracket this time around. So for all you fans of all the top 8 teams, you will be seeing the 4 teams who lost their BO3 series today play once more tomorrow. Of course, I think the English stream is probably the fastest stream after A Celeste kind of just speed run through that first best of 3 series.
Yep.
I think that the Thai as well as Bahasa stream, the games are still being played right now, so we don't quite have the full brackets out for you just yet. But just to wrap up the series for today, of course, A Celeste, they did 2-0 over Magnifique, 13-1, 13-3 on Ascent and Icebox here on the English stream. And then, as y'all just saw, RENATUS White 2-0ing ARICAT ARESTA. Also, very interestingly, I think most teams are just, dropping breeze. Also on Ascent as well as Icebox. So Magnifique and ARICAT ARESTA being dropped down to the lower bracket will have to play another best of 3 series tomorrow, and then subsequently I think they'll have to play another one later on if they want to make it into the lower bracket finals, and then of course the grand finals. So it's much longer road for them going through the whole lower bracket system. But yeah, that was the format for today. I just want to talk a bit more about both of these teams, especially ARICAT ARESTA. Leonard, what do you think of their performance today? You mentioned that you thought that they played really well, just team play and everything. I wanted to ask, what do you think their chances are for tomorrow, or looking at tomorrow, what can they improve or like just clean up on?
Well, I think team play, like I mentioned, was really good. Individual performance was really good, especially coming up from Rosie in the last map. That was brilliant performance from her. I think as a whole, we just need some individual players to start stepping up, because as a team, you're playing well. Your top performers are playing well. All you need to do is for the bottom players to get a couple more frags here and there. And honestly, this could have gone to overtime, or this could have just as easily been a 2-0 for ARICAT. It was very possible.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing about the 2-0, or like if you're in a best of 5 series, the difference between like a 3-1 and 3-2 is actually 50%. Because when a team has already won the first series, whether it ends 2-0 or 2-1 is really like the chances are 50%. I wanted to also touch on the map selection for today, because we saw Celeste versus Magnifique, Ascent as well as Icebox. This time around, again, Ascent and Icebox. Kind of the teams not really wanting to touch Breeze, although there was that map 3 Breeze pick, but never got to. I can't blame them, but I just can't believe that they're still picking Icebox. But yeah, what do you think? Do you think that this is something we'll see for the next 3 days?
Honestly, Icebox seems like something which fits Renatus pretty well. Like they like to rely a lot on their fragging power of their individual stars, and I think Icebox is definitely a bigger map which allows you to do that for sure. I can't understand why no one really wants to play Breeze. It's quite confusing to get the hang of, especially certain strategies are very difficult to implement as well. So I can't blame them for wanting to just play something simpler, something they're more familiar with as well. Especially if you're a better team, you don't want to risk losing a map on Breeze in a series, right? So going forward, I expect to see Breeze remain a constant ban or third map in a series, which most teams don't want to get to. Other than that, yeah, we should expect to see pretty much the standard. You know, teams that like Haven will keep picking Haven. Teams that like Ascend will keep picking Ascend, and what have you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these teams, most of them have been playing in FSL Open since the start of the year, even from last year. So they've definitely got a lot of practice on maps such as like Ascent and then Bind, which is pretty much almost always banned out for all of these teams. I also wanted to ask you about some of the newer agent picks that we didn't see over in FSL
We'll see KO
Open
soon.
for. Yeah, we didn't really see KO today. Do you
Yep.
think that we're not going to see it for like, what do you think the chances are? Because I actually really want to see KO. But like we've heard from some of the teams during like their interviews, I think it was one of the team members from Celeste or Renatus White who mentioned that I think it was Renatus White. They mentioned that when they pick KO, they really like they think KO is only good with one other duelist on the team. So in that sense, it's hard for you to create a good 5 agent composition around KO. But what do you think? Do you think we're going to see more of him in the competition, or is it just like too soon for the teams to really practice him well? Because we saw that with Astra. When Astra came out, there was like one whole month-long
Yeah,
competition where the
understandably.
teams were like, you know, we're going to practice here a bit more, but now it's like suddenly almost every team's picking Astra. What's going on?
Well, I think the differences between Astra and the difference between her and KO is that Astra is honestly a really complicated hero to play. Like as a complicated agent to play, there's a lot that you need to be familiar with in terms of
Somewhat
a kid.
spot the MOBA player. Wow.
Yeah.
Get off
I mean,
this FPS stream.
but the difference is KO is a super simple agent to play. Like the problem is not KO himself. He's effective. What his kit offers is good and effective. He's easy to play. He's straightforward. But the problem is, how do you fit him into a composition? What are you giving up? Are you giving up Sage? Are you giving up Viper and Icebox? You know, like some of these heroes agents you can't give up. So to fit a KO into team composition, like I think you mentioned, Renatus said it as well, you need to only have one other duelist. You probably take out a duelist spot for a KO, and then he functions as a pseudo duelist to kind of support you as you go into the site. I think teams should be ready to pull him out in certain maps. I think he will excel on maps with smaller sites, which are easier to rush in with his knife and you can just take control of. I do expect we'll see him a little bit more. I don't think he'll be top priority, but in certain maps, some teams will definitely pick him.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kira definitely, as an agent, just has a lot of strengths in terms of that, like, deny potential. As you were talking about, you know, it's like if you're going to lay down some smokes before you enter a site, if there's like KO on the site that you chose, that's kind of like an instant deny right there. I think for now seems to be a bit more of a strong solo queue pick option than competitive, but hopefully, I mean, I'm hopeful, fingers crossed, that we're going to see some KO being picked up in the next 3 days. But before we wrap up, wanted to pick your brain, get your predictions after. I know we only saw 4 teams. We've only seen half of the top 8 teams. But going off of today's 2 best of 3 series, who's gonna take it all?
Is this even a question when AE Celeste is in the tournament? Like, I don't
Who's
think.
gonna get second?
Who's gonna get second?
No,
Yeah.
look, no.
I think that's the real question here, honestly.
We are not a biased desk. All right.
We're not biased at all, but I think the results speak for themselves, you know.
That's
I'm
true.
very practical. AE Celeste, they're dominant, they're gonna take it. It's gonna be Galaxy Racer or Renatus White to take second, and you guys should be hyped because they're playing tomorrow.
Whew. Galaxy Racer or Renatus White? Like I mean Renatus White, they would be my pick for top 2 team for sure. But we just saw the series versus ARICAT Arrested. That was so close. That could have gone either way. That was within like 3 rounds of being a 2-0 in the other way. So I mean, I'm pretty hype. But that's it for us for day 1 of the Valorant Champions Tour Southeast Asian Series FSL circuit. Brought to you guys, of course, by your sponsor Intel and supported by Yahoo. We'll be back tomorrow to see which teams make it into this weekend's top 4 finals. And if y'all want to see how women in esports keep changing the game, we'll see you back here again tomorrow, same time, same place.